Surviving 1000 days in hardcore Minecraft is not easy. But during that time, I can build the fastest possible XP farm, get the rarest blocks, build massive structures, and get completely stranded at the world border, losing almost all of my stuff. Traveling 30 million blocks to get back home isn't going to be easy, but by the end of this 1000 day journey, I went from 8,000 to 9,000 days in my world. First things first, 100,000 cactus, which admittedly is quite a lot. However, right here, I have my cactus XP farm, which works by collecting up cactus, then smelting it all, followed by removing items to collect all of the XP. The farm produces 20,000 cactus per hour. So if I can increase the size of it even more, I can get everything that I need. To do this, I'm going to need a load of materials, such as 23,000 stone slabs. And it's a good job we've already got loads of stone waiting in this chest, isn't it? Because it's going to make life much easier. And with every single one of them now obtained, I need to get a ridiculous amount of spruce fences, which I currently don't have. There we go. This will be more than enough wood. If I combine them with a load of sticks, I can get a load of fences. I have got a lot, but I'm still just a little bit short. So in order to fix that, I'm going to chop down a couple more trees. Next on the list is sand, which I've already got. And then nether brick fences, which is going to require me to smelt a load more netherrack in this fancy super smelter to craft a load more fences. And because I have a chunk loader underneath this super smelter, I can leave it running whilst I collect the next material, which is going to be glass, obtained at the Void Trader. And whilst I've been collecting all of that, this is all finished smelting and means I can craft the rest of them. I'm very close to having it all now. Just need a shulker box of stone bricks and another one of oak fences. And that means mission to collect every single item is complete. And it begins by placing a load of sand in a grid-like fashion like this. And then in between all of these gaps, I'm going to be adding water. All the fence posts are placed in a clever pattern so the water always pushes the cactus downwards. And to build the next bit, I'm going to have to head all the way down here because I'm going to need a load of cactus. A load of cactus that can then be placed onto every single bit of sand. Finally, a glass border can be put up all the way around the outside. And with a few fence posts placed down here as well, that is a layer done in its entirety. Which means placing down a load more slabs for the roof. And then I can repeat the exact same process again. And something I have realized as I'm building this is that all the time whilst I'm adding layer after layer, there's thousands of cactus coming through at the bottom, which is all collecting down here and just getting wasted. And so to solve that issue, I'm going to build a collection system right here. It's going to be made out of 4 different shulker loaders, so the materials are pretty straightforward. And also, whilst I'm in the vicinity, I might as well grab myself a load more ice, because that's what I've been using to place the water down in the farm. So I'll start with a hopper up here, and then a dropper going into a dispenser with 2 more hoppers. This comparator will detect when the shulker box is full and feed into an iron block, which is connected to a block of redstone, which has dust that an observer is looking at. And that's pretty much it. I'll just need to connect the hoppers, which I'll do later, once I've built another 2 of these up. And if I'm not mistaken, that should be it. I'm going to run hoppers all the way along here and actually break the glass now so that it can actually be picking stuff up. And it would have been done, but there's just too many cactus falling. So I'm going to have to add a 4th loader, which I can build right about here. Mission accomplished. Finally, I'll fill it up with shulker boxes. And then whilst that collection system is running, I can be building a few more layers of the farm. And I reckon at this point, that is enough layers added on. You can see where I started from because it was at this chest. And how many more were actually added. And now, based on the size of the farm, you can see the cactus is falling even faster than it was before. And according to my calculations, I've already got 46,000 cactus ready and waiting. So to get to 100,000, it'll take a couple more hours. So I am going to dig into here, block it up, and wait a couple of hours. Enough time should have passed. And look at that. Loads and loads and loads of cactus. Now we can move on to phase 2, which is to downgrade my world in order to create the glitched shulker box. And with that, I get flung up in the air and the update suppressor is done. Now, quite simply, a lectern with a book goes here. I now need to change this to be a trapdoor with a comparator facing into the line. You can see it activated the suppressor, so that's a good sign. I then need to open the trapdoor, and then we're going to do what is known as a tile entity swap. Okay, whilst all this suppression is happening, we're going to break the lectern, which is going to do a little bit of an update. We're going to place the shulker box And now the game thinks that this is still a lectern. So the comparator is trying to draw an output, but it can't. So it glitches the game, and this is now its own little update suppressor. I'm going to have quite a few of them in case one of them breaks. And it's also not like they're particularly difficult to build, are they? And I can now safely return to version 1.20.1. Before that, I'll change the region files back to no longer be read-only. It has to be said, it's nice to be back in the present version, and this update suppressor here, it no longer works. Like, I can place a block next to it, break it, and the redstone just drops. But these shulkers, well, for some reason, I can't open them. Yes, they're unopenable shulkers. And if I add a comparator here and then grab a lever, that can go on the side of the block. We break this, and it is suppressed. Yes, we've got a floating lever. So that nicely sums up what we're about to do. I do also need to remove this entire suppressor machine. And so now it's time to make the God Particle farm. And in this hopper, for the timings, I need 13 items. We'll put redstone on top to lock it. And then I can add all of the other redstone around it, which is going to be like this. We just need a piston there. And then also some more items on top. Also, if there was some way I could make some sort of switch to disable phantoms, I would. I reckon it might be possible. It's a pretty simple system. We've got a minecart here. If we turn this, so now the minecart goes through, and then it comes back, gets burnt. And then when the timer ends, you see the piston moves, it dispenses a new one, another one comes back, and it's just an endless loop that keeps it going round and round, which also works perfectly on the nether side. And it is well protected from any gas as well, just in case. And with all of that done, I now need to head back to drop off all this stuff and grab all of these shulker boxes of cactus. These can be placed into the top chest, and then I can head to the actual cactus farm through this hyperspeed tunnel and grab all of the remaining shulker boxes. Well, I would if I had the space for them. Thankfully, I can just put these into here to give me a couple extra slots, and then they can also go into here. I actually just realized I've accidentally put these into the coal chest, not the cactus one, which would be a terrible disaster and break the entire machine. Good job I realized, because I was wondering, why are all the chests so empty when I've already put loads in? As you can see, there should be more in them, and now there is. And as I load this up, I'm now 100% ready to run this God Particle machine. But before then, I thought I'd give you a minor demonstration of what's to come. You see, if I place a single furnace right here, add some cactus and add some coal, it's going to start smelting. And if I also add a hopper underneath, it's going to pull out any of the cactus green dye without giving me any XP. No, that XP is all being stored in the furnace and will only be taken out if I break it or pull an item. With that, everything is smelted, so there is 64 XP points stored in this furnace. I can break the hopper underneath and get all the items, and then place obsidian underneath, as well as one on top. And if I put a comparator here, update suppression is now happening because of the glitched shulker. If I then go and break this and place a furnace straight away back down, watch what happens. The XP comes flooding in, and the furnace keeps dropping the XP over and over again. Yes, I used up 32 furnaces, but those furnaces were turned into pure XP, which is just so useful. So as you can see, it's pretty powerful. Now imagine that there's 12,000 XP coming out of the furnace, or 5 God Particles. Then the player will be absorbing the maximum amount of XP possible in single player. And now for the moment of truth. I press this button, and it should start off the entire machine. As you can see, there we go. The cactus and the coal has been dispensed, and the furnaces are working. And notice, just as it finishes, a new cactus goes in. That goes back, but the coal doesn't, because the coal knows that it doesn't need to go in until 8 cactus is smelted. And then I shall update suppress every single one of the furnaces. And it's done. Every single time that I break one of these furnaces, it should drop 5 God Particles. And I can break 2 furnaces a second if I also have haste, which means I'll be able to get 10 God Particles a second, which is the maximum speed that any player can take in XP in survival. Like, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. The God Particle is the highest valued XP orb that is possible to get, and we are going to be absorbing them at the fastest possible rate that a player is able to. Also, something kind of looks wrong with this beacon. Can't quite put my finger on it. It's not quite right. That's the iron blocks placed. Hopefully I have a beacon left. Yeah, I've got 2 in here, which is absolutely perfect. So we'll grab that. We'll grab an iron ingot. We'll chuck it on top. Add that. And get haste 2. And you know what? Just to be safe, I'm also going to make the beacon a little bit bigger. So that I can also give myself regeneration as well. And there's nothing more I can do. Everything is ready. I am now ready to start getting so much XP very fast. So here is the moment of truth. I'm going to put the furnaces in my offhand. I'm going to break this, and notice what comes out. a load of God particles, and then we place it again. We break it. They're there again. We place it. They're there again. Ladies and gentlemen, look how quick. We need to crouch as well as we do this. Look how quick we can break and place them. And look how fast my levels are going up. This is getting me a ridiculous amount of XP. We've just gone to level 1000. In fact, it is producing faster than my player can absorb it. Maybe there's a little bit too much in there. But yeah, at this point, I'm just going to keep getting busy and go to level 10,000. And now we're past 9,900 levels. We are now officially on the home straight, which is very, very exciting. You can see how powerful these God particles are because the levels are still going up at a decent speed. And I'm just going to keep going at the mining to make sure they stay replenished. Here we go, just 50 levels to go. Now there's just 10 levels left. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I think I'll just leave it there, just to trigger every single one of you guys. Yes, that is the fastest possible XP farm in Minecraft. Alright, I'm just kidding. If you're new here and you subscribe, I'll get to level 10,000. There we go. Oh, doesn't that look amazing? What about the snowy grass block? That's pretty rare, isn't it? No, it isn't. I've already got one of them. And in 1.16, I was constantly breaking them because Enderman kept placing them all over my house. Yeah, back in that version, if you lived in a snowy biome, this block was very, very common. But what about the piglin head? Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first rare block that I don't have. Despite 1.20 coming out 8 months ago, for some reason I just never got around to collecting it. And to obtain this item, I'm going to need a thunderstorm to get a charged creeper. But that means I'll be waiting an average of 6 hours for a thunderstorm. And I haven't got time for that. But I wonder... Yes, I've got an idea. I'll kidnap this charged creeper from my mob collection and use him to blow up a piglin to get a piglin head. What could possibly go wrong? My plan is quite simple. I'm going to build a portal right here and connect it to a portal on the other side above the bedrock. Then I'll build a platform to get a piglin to spawn and chuck him in a boat. Then I can fishing rod him next to the portal and build a glass cage to trap him in. Now for the risky part. I need to lure this creeper through the portal, then I'll go through a different portal, and I now carefully need to destroy the portal, break the boat, and then very carefully ignite him, blowing the piglin up and dropping his head. And with that, I'm also going to fly to the raid farm to swap the creeper head so that I now have the full collection of mob heads in my bedroom. And the next 2 blocks that we're about to get are meant to be impossible to obtain. You can't get them with Silk Touch, you can't collect them in any other way unless you use a cobweb. So let's grab 64 of these and head out in search of these next 2 blocks. I'm actually going to need to go to brand new chunks to find this, which is why I'm having to fly so far away. And once in the new chunks, I either need to search an ocean or a desert. Hey, look at this, guys. I know it's not so rare of a block, but it's free wheat, which is always worth taking when you see a village. Just to annoy the farmers, really. I'm pretty sure that I am now in new chunks, and an ocean ruin is just what I need. With a free Nautilus shell as well. They're kind of rare, aren't they? But they are nothing compared to what I'm going to be... What the heck? 2 in 1 ruins. Okay, that is actually really rare. But it never happens when I'm actually trying to find them, does it? Anyway, now we can focus on getting this block. And we need to kind of dig around a little bit. And in fact, I could do with just flying over here to grab a bit of wood, because we are going to need some blocks. Then we're going to build a little border around here. And here you'll see that I have 2 suspicious gravel. Now, if I grab a torch, place it down, and drop gravel on it, you'll see it becomes an item. However, if I do that with suspicious gravel, you'll see it just breaks. So how do we obtain it? Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the cobweb comes in. We are going to stack a load of these cobwebs underneath the suspicious gravel. I've got a little bit overkill here. I didn't need this many. But then we simply break the block and we drop the entities onto the cobwebs. And watch what happens if a block falls for more than 30 seconds. Yep, it pops off and you get the item. Look at that. We have suspicious gravel in our hand. This should not be possible to obtain. I could place this if I wanted to. With that out of the way, now I either need to find a desert or a warm ocean ruins, so that then I can get the suspicious sand. This right here looks promising. Yep, I can cover this one on all sides and then do the exact same thing again. There we go. It's as easy as that. And whilst I'm here, I might as well get a second one for good measure. This is my collection of every single block, but I haven't updated it since 1.20 came out, so it's missing quite a few. Now, to solve that, I'm going to first expand this corridor, and then I can begin placing down every single new block. There we go. I have to say, it's looking pretty cool, isn't it? But there is still a lot of 1.20 blocks that I need to add, which is why I'm expanding the corridor, such as every bamboo block, all the cherry ones, hanging signs. And then finally the sniffer egg, the calibrated skulk sensor, the chisel bookshelf, and finally the 2 new plants. 5 down, just 30 to go, and they're going to get a lot crazier than the ones I've just done. And right at the end, I'm going to show you how to get the no textures block, which, let me tell you, is very, very rare. I'm actually heading to where my giant diamond tunnel bore is. Not because I'm here to get diamonds, oh no, but instead because, well, there is actually diamonds. Oh, little side quest, not intentional. Oh, there's loads, by the way. That's convenient. I'm actually here because the machine is broken in this part, so I'm going to mine up the ancient debris. And I'm going to need a grand total of 36. There we go. And now to smelt them, craft the ingots, and then a block of netherite. What on earth am I going to do with this? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to create the world's first netherite piston. And whilst I'm at it, I'll create a diamond piston as well. And this next one's pretty cool because it's going to involve a bed. I'm going to place it like that, suppress the head of the bed, break that, and now we just have a half bed. And funnily enough, I did actually find one of these naturally spawned in my world. It was in a village where a chunk for some reason cut half of it off, and it was very, very cool. This one's another simple one, but one that is very cool. The half door. And for this next one, I want to make the locked chest. Now this was only present in an April Fool's update. Well, it was an April Fool's joke in beta Minecraft, and I'm gonna remake it here. And I reckon the best way for me to do that is to do something like this. So we create a little suppressor there, and then we can use that to turn this, oh, we don't want to fall, as we're saying, into a locked chest. Now this, as you can see, is unopenable. No matter what I do, I cannot get into this chest. It is completely locked. And then speaking of chests, we're going to need a couple more. We're going to place them right here. Then I'm going to get my comparators, point them into it, and I'm going to break this chest. And it looks like it's gone back to normal, doesn't it? Until you do this. And then when you relog, it's a half chest. Look at that. How crazy does it look? Yes, you've got a half double chest. Have you ever seen one of them before? The real question I want to know is, could you sleep in one of these beds? And the answer is sadly not. And now for these next ones, I'm just going to use the flowers. Again, it's very, very simple. And instead of it being the top halves that I've got over here, I've got the bottoms. So these fellas are very separated from the ones over there. And then right here, we've got some more simple ones. We're going to have a floating lever and floating ladders by going like this. And once we break it, there you go. And these next ones are quite cool because we're going to do some floating blocks that shouldn't be possible. Starting with the cactus. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what it looks like on the bottom of a cactus. Right here, I'm going to need my hoe because we're doing some farming. We're going to grow those potatoes, grow those carrots. And doesn't this one look so weird just to have floating crops? And then in these ones, we can keep it simple with a couple of floating torches with a floating dripstone right here. And we've almost done it. We've almost got every single one. We've done 34 out of 35. And many have called what I'm about to create next the rarest block in Minecraft. But let me tell you, it is not. And we are going to get it very, very easily. First, let's perform this tile entity swap and then do another one. And now I'm going to place a grass block right here. Can you guess what I'm about to do? We're going to place a snow layer on top. Oh, we've got a snowy grass block. Let's go ahead and suppress it and break the snow. And oh, it didn't work. Oh, wait, it did work. We placed a block next to it and we have what many called the rarest block in Minecraft now in a collection. That's 35 out of 35 for in here, but there is one left. And that is the missing textures block. Possibly the hardest one for me to get. This machine and system I've been using it is completely powerless to get the missing textures block. No, in order to get it, we're going to have to do quite a bit more hard work. Now, in the nether, we need to fly to some very specific coordinates. They're not that far away. They're at 776,889. And the reason for this is because every time you downgrade a world, the seed changes to seed 0. So I know where everything is, and I know on the other side of this portal, there will be a desert. Not right now, there isn't, quite clearly. But once I do the downgrade, there will be. So I'm going to save and quit the world, and to change these 4 files in the world saves region folder to be read only. And here we go. Let's load up the world. Okay, we're okay. We're a lot higher up than I expected, but the reason we wanted to be in a desert was for Enderman. Now I've got to try and get this guy into a hole, and then I can box us both in. All right, it's me and you now, buddy. I do need him to put that sand down that he's got in his hand. He will do eventually. And in the meantime, I'm going to set a cactus off growing right here, and it needs to get to 2 blocks tall. Also add more space around him so he's got more. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to make him mad. Oh no, I'm sorry, mate. He's not going to pick anything up now that I've hit him. I think in this version, if you put him in water. Okay. Oh, well, that went wrong, didn't it? So now it's time for take 2, and this time I'm going to be quite a bit more careful. Well, the good news is he's now put the sand down and the cactus has grown, so we've just got to wait for him to now pick it up. And when he does, This is how we will get the glitched textures block. And he's done it. He's picked it up. And now all I have to do is first get rid of this cactus and make sure it's not in my inventory. And then I need to take him out. Don't teleport away. There's nowhere you can go. You're staying here. And we have got it. And just look at the size of it, by the way. It's absolutely massive. But yes, this is the glitched texture block. It's basically a cactus with a different data value. So the game doesn't really know what to do and doesn't know what texture to give it. So it just doesn't give it one. Now, in my opinion, it is very, very cool indeed. You can get more of them if you go and grab a cactus and chuck it there. Now, all of a sudden, you've got 2 of them. But there is some sad news. There always is, isn't there? This block will only survive up until 1.12. If you upgrade your world to 1.13, it's fixed, and the block is just a normal cactus. So I can upgrade my world back to 1.20.1, which is what I'm going to do. But when I bring the glitch block back, it sadly won't work. So let's go ahead and now change these files to no longer be read-only. And as we load it back up into the new version, you can see I was telling, oh my goodness, it's raining animals. Okay, well, I don't know what to make of that. It's raining chickens. Anyway, I wasn't lying. Oh, what did I do? Oh, well, it slightly broke my world. But they're now just cactus again. So they're a rare block of the past that we got to experience for a brief time. If I downgraded my world again with these in my inventory, they just stay as normal cactus. Now, the first of the dupers that we're going to be making is the TNT duper. And as the video progresses, the dupers are going to get more and more OP and more useful. As for the TNT duper, this is used by loads of players, including myself, for various farms and world eaters. The glitch to do this has been in the game for years, and for whatever reason, Mojang have chosen not to patch it. And we're going to use this to solve one of my biggest problems. I just never have enough wood. I do have this manual tree farm which requires mining with an axe, but it's quite slow and inefficient. So we're going to build a massive tree farm that will get me loads and loads of wood, and will also include a TNT duper. Did you know this? You can actually place carpet on top of water. How cool is that? Now I'm going to place a load of scaffolding, and I could climb to the top, but I'm gonna fly and get some sleep while I'm up there. And up here, we're gonna build the system that connects to the TNT duper. So this piston is gonna nudge the falling TNT to the side if it's needed. It depends on the type of tree we're growing. And now we go up a little bit more, and this is where the TNT duper is gonna be built. So I'll get down the TNT, add a piston facing into it, and then we're going to have some iron blocks around because we need to hold in some water. Here comes the snow, but that's not going to stop me. I'm going to add this bit of redstone to complete the TNT duper. It is very, very simple, isn't it? Told you I wasn't joking. And now I need to build a collection system to gather up all the wood. These signs and the trapdoor are going to hold the water in place. I break that. Look at it, it's perfect. Now to add a bit more redstone. Once I place this redstone dust, you'll see that the TNT duper is working. It is raining down on the obsidian. And to turn the machine off, I'm just going to flick this lever. And technically, this farm will work fine now. It'll get me all the wood that I need. So to test out the farm, I've got my saplings, I've got a bunch of bone meal, and I can just stand here whilst I keep using the farm. This farm is fairly efficient, and from those 6 stacks of bone meal, I've got a grand total of 5.5 stacks of wood. Not bad. But I don't want to have to manually replenish my bone meal. No, we're going to make a machine so it automatically does that. It just requires a very small amount of redstone items, which can be added right here. Plenty of time has passed, and as you can see, I've got loads and loads and loads of stuff in these chests. Had to keep throwing away all the apples and the saplings to make space. So I'm going to load up my inventory and then load up these shulker boxes. Next, I'm going to once again gather up a load of building blocks because I'm also going to want to build one that can farm these nether trees. I now have everything right here, and I can get busy building tree farm number... What on earth is that goat doing? It's actually lost its mind. I have never seen this before. Why is it doing that? It is completely broken. There you go. Are you back to normal now? All right. You kind of know what you're doing, but you're really not having a good day. Anyway, I'll just get focused on building this tree farm. And that is that done. And I'd next like to add an auto sorting system to both of these storages. That is the first one done, and the second one is also finished. I just need to load it up with all the correct items. I've just got to load it up with bone meal. Then I need a way to replenish the fungus that I'll plant a similar way to the bone meal, but as you can see, I've only got 2 of each. So right here, I'm going to build a nice little square with 5 pistons on each side, blocks on top with some redstone, a dispenser in the middle, which is going to have bone meal in it, like that. And then whatever I want to get, I just put that on top. So at the moment, I'm going to get some crimson fungi. I can hook up the redstone, and then the farm is done. You can see if I flick this, look at that. They're already coming in so fast. Then I can just go ahead, grab all of them, and turn all these roots that I'm not going to use into bone meal with the composter. More than enough time has passed, so let's go over here and switch off the machine. And the wood stocks are now looking pretty good. And next on the list, I'm going to build something that I said I'd never do. I'm going to build a sand farm. Yes, a farm that will duplicate sand, gravel, and concrete powder. Why am I doing this? Well, first of all, I get loads and loads of comments of people telling me to build one. And finally, Mojang have known about the bug for ages, and they still haven't patched it. Kind of like was the case for the TNT duper. From the end, I can flick this lever to send the sand through, and then the game will send a copy of the gravity block through the portal, and it will pop out here, getting destroyed thanks to gravity. It gets me about 45,000 sand per hour, and if I change this to be concrete powder instead, it turns it into concrete that can then be blown up and collected up by the hoppers. So yeah, that's the general gist of how it all works. It's very, very cool indeed. It's actually another of Ian Exo4's designs. They're very, very cool what he does. As you can see, we've got loads of stuff coming through. But if I want to actually auto-sort all the items that come through, I'm going to need to improve the design. I've been running this machine with various different types of blocks for quite some time. If I just head through here, you'll see that nothing is broken on this side. And if we head into the collection room, we have loads and loads and loads of shulker boxes of every single type of concrete. And just look at all the gravel that I've got. Didn't really run the sand one that much, but this is absolutely fantastic. I now do not have to worry about any of these, which really will make my life easier, especially when I'm doing massive builds in the future. Look at it go. It is making all of the carpets for me and burning them at the same time. It's just very, very satisfying to watch, isn't it? Isn't it very cool? And once again, you can put hoppers at the bottom if you want to actually collect them and everything. And I can have this one running as well, my rail dupers. Look at that. Rail dupers, carpet dupers, just destroying items for absolutely no reason. I've now chosen that I'm going to allow myself to make a factory that gets me loads of gravity blocks. I've chosen that I'm allowing myself to use TNT dupers. Like, originally in my world, I didn't allow either of those. And maybe one day I'll allow myself to use rail and carpet dupers. Who knows? They might be patched by then. But most importantly, I need to focus on this next duper that is going to allow me to get infinite netherite. So placing the netherite next to the update suppressors causes it to duplicate. These pistons then push the blocks across, and the TNT explodes just as the blocks are moved, so that the items drop downwards, get collected up, and destroyed by the cactus. And as you can see, the TNT is separated by the water and the soul sand, which make it move very, very slowly, so that it explodes just as it hits the obsidian. And the piston with the sand is causing the redstone to only be activated for a single tick. It's not really much of a view for the player though, is this? All I can really see is the netherite over there going onto the cactus, which if you ask me is pretty cool. I'm going to start putting red concrete through. You can see it works with any block. The reason I'm doing red concrete is because I don't want them to be loads of netherite all the way up there. So this will just ensure that there's no netherite left. Although there is 4 blocks up here that are acting as kind of blockers. They need to go. As you can see, they do drop the items as I mine them, but I'm not going to pick them up. Instead, I can just place down any other block because they're at the piston's push limit, so the red concrete will do. I found this to be quite a fun video. I wanted to make sure that I didn't benefit for any dupers that I didn't want to. I mean, for me, the sand duper and TNT duper, as I've said earlier, is kind of okay. But I'm certainly not going to use general item dupers in my world like the one to get loads of netherite. Now, that for me is just a step too far and kind of takes away from Minecraft a little bit. And to transform this swamp hut, I'm not only going to need mangrove wood, which apparently I don't have any of, but I'm also going to need muddy mangrove roots. And to get them, I'm going to go out in search of a mangrove swamp. And now that I'm here, I can dig into the side of the tree, mine up the logs, and grab the muddy mangrove roots. And this is the spot that the swamp hut can go. My name for it is the mangrove hut, and the plan is to have little pillars of the logs like this with the muddy mangrove roots in between. And now I'm going to build the actual hut part, which means even more pillars upwards, and I'm going to grab the normal roots and use these as the walls. It really gives it that kind of rundown, overgrown feel. So these are going to be like this, and then because I want to put flowers on top of them as well, the little plant pots nicely blend in and they just look like they're part of it. Now to add on the roof, which is more muddy mangrove, followed finally by adding stairs all the way around the outside. And there you have it. It's my muddy mangrove swamp hut. I think underneath I'll also make this grass path just to give it a little bit more character. And you know what? I've got an even better idea. I can grab some mud and some ice to give it that mangrove swamp feel underneath. Yeah, I quite like how this is looking. I reckon the pillars should also have a bit of mud. The same for this one. And then the rest can be grass path. Oh, yes. It just brings it together a little more. And I think Mojang should actually add this one to the mangrove swamps because I think it looks very, very cool. Next, I said we'd start with the small structures, which means the next one is going to be the igloo. I do actually have one of these fairly near my house. You can see We're not far from the village at all. And here it is. Pretty standard. Made of snow. Little secret compartment underneath. Although not all igloos do have that secret spot. And I want my igloo to look like it was touched by the hand of Midas. If you don't know what that is, it's from Greek mythology where a man wished that everything he touched turned to gold. Also, as you can see, we've got plenty of that in stock. So the igloo can go right here. As I said, it's made out of gold, and that's exactly how it looks. And we're going to build the outline, which is incredibly easy to do. And I'm also going to dig out the floor because it's not going to be snow right there. No, instead, it's going to be a ring of ice with lava inside it, followed by more ice and orange stained glass on top. Here, I'm going to have some windows, and this is going to be where the bed is. It looks fine for now, but don't you worry. It won't stay that way. I also fell down. We should add some more ice there and then build it up with more gold. There we go. That is the exterior done. And I should also extend the grass pathway so it connects. In fact, now it looks bad. I should under here also have gold. You don't want to be seeing dirt in the foundations. You want to think that it goes all the way down. And in a normal igloo, you get a crafting table and a furnace. Well, we're going to have a smithing table and a blast furnace. And then a soul torch instead of a redstone one. And finally, some dripstone, which I kind of thought were almost like icicles. Icicles would be an amazing addition to Minecraft, by the way. They could just be very similar to point dripstone. And then we're just going to have these dotted around. We're going to have one right here. Imagine sleeping in that bed. In fact, when it goes dark, I'll actually do it. It'll probably look quite funny. So yeah, tonight's going to be an exciting night. Anyway, that is the igloo done. The golden igloo. I think it looks very, very nice indeed. Much more exciting than this one right here that Mojang added. And there's also sadly no space for a secret tunnel because it's all lava. I do need to put some string on the roof to protect it from any falling snow. And that is the two small structures successfully transformed. And now we're going to move on to the medium ones, which is the Jungle Temple and the Pillager Outpost. And in order to build it, I actually need to dig out quite a bit of the ground because this is a structure that has a tunnel underneath. And of course, I've got to have a trap down there. It's going to be a pretty evil lava trap, but I still think they should add it to the main game, even if it would probably be a guaranteed kill for anybody playing Minecraft for the first time. Now from here, I'm actually going to start with the spot that is going to have the trap in. So there's going to be lava right there, and then there's going to need to be some redstone. The redstone is going to involve sticky pistons like this, and they are all going to be extended, which will hide the trap. So I'm putting target blocks along here. I don't think there really need to be target blocks, but anyway, I'm going with that. Then this is going to come around, and we're going to have 3 more like so. And these ones actually do need to be target blocks. Next, I'm going to add in all of the lava. And then a redstone torch right here, which will activate the pistons. Looks good, but it's not much of a trap because it's not very well hidden. So I'm now going to start building out the floor. It's not really a specific pattern, just want to make it look nice and random. And to be honest, when I'm finished with this jungle temple, it probably will look like a form of bastion, which may look good in the nether. I could call it the jungle remnant or the bastion jungle. I don't know. But what I do know is that any good jungle temple has traps hidden around. So this redstone is gonna link around and set off these dispensers. But I don't want them to just be shooting out arrows like they normally do. Since this does have a bit of a bastion-y, lava-y feel to it, I'm thinking that we nip back home and head to the bastion experts, which are the piglins. Now, these guys love to take the gold from me, and in return, they always give loads and loads of fire charges. So now when you enter this jungle temple, you don't get shot with an arrow, you get shot with a fireball. Yeah, I think that seems fitting. Let's continue building. And I think this is the perfect point to hook up the redstone. Now, both of these levers won't actually do anything. They're just going to extend some pistons so that you think something's happening and you might get some treasure, but in reality, it's just a red herring. And from there, I'm going to add a repeater because this is the real one. We're going to add a single piece of redstone dust like that. And when we flick this lever, bam. Now, who would stand back and flick that lever? Maybe the clever players, but most people will do it like that. Although they fall in the lava, I'm just a bit more careful. So that's the bottom bit. Now we mainly just need to work on the tunnel out of here and also the exterior so that it looks nice from the outside. I'm also going to grab the other buckets of lava and add one there and also one right here. Just gives it a little bit of light and gives it a... Okay, you know what? I just fell for my own trap, guys. That's how you know it's a good one. But yeah, I should probably just focus on building this entire thing up. That should be the upstairs bit done, where the players can kind of come and look out of the windows if they'd like to. And then I can top off the roof with a couple of stairs, a couple of blocks, and 2 more stairs. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it. It is now complete. And I think it looks pretty cool. I think it definitely has a very netherish feel to it. And inside is even better. You do kind of feel like you're in a bastion, but you can't quite put your finger on it. It's got traps hidden all over the place. You know what would be really good if I'd made that trap come up to here as well. I can't do it much further because there's open blocks there. Don't fall for your trap for a second time, SB. You can fool me once, but twice will not happen. Oh, and I completely forgot to add the most important thing. Hold on. Dodge it. There we go. We're through. And this one. Now, I'm going to put in 3 gold blocks. Just as a bit of loot, you know, for anybody that is brave enough to come here. I've also noticed if I put glow lichen in front, the glow lichen disappears. Like if I set this off. Oh, it doesn't there, but I put it there and I don't know where it's gone. Maybe it will have burnt from the lava. Okay, that explains it. Not to worry, it's just that I put a lot of effort in getting it and it's kind of a waste of time now, I see. And now the next of the structures that we're going to transform is the Pillager Outpost. I'm going to make it a skulk-themed one, and it's almost going to look like the kind of thing that you could find underground in an ancient city. But instead, it'll be an outpost. It's also going to have a lot of shriekers and also a lot of skulk catalysts. I have a few of them here, but probably not enough. And in this shulker box, yeah, probably not all the ones that I need. So to get all the skulk catalysts, which is the main thing I need loads of, I need 290 to be precise, I can use my warden farm. I built this quite a while ago. I don't know how we do it. See, we've got 4 skulk catalysts. But every time a warden dies, it drops one. And to set this off, all I really need to do is just shoot a few arrows here. And it will now activate the shrieker. And as you can see, out of the ground crawls a warden. Well, you can kind of see it in the darkness. In theory, this should keep spawning them over and over again. But I don't know if that is actually working properly. But not to worry. I need 290 skulk catalysts. And I can just stand on top of here, and it will keep activating the shrieker over and over again. And that means wardens will keep spawning and dying from entity cramming up here. Then the skulk catalyst just filter into this chest, and it'll take me about 30 to 40 minutes to get all of the skulk catalysts that I need. I think I've now been here long enough, and there's loads of it in the chest. Now, with those out of the way, I do still need 52 shriekers and 23 skulk sensors. As you can see, we have all of the shriekers, and all of the sensors can be found in this shulker box right here. And then really the only other items I need are the ones that can be crafted from deep slate, such as deep slate tiles, and then the stairs, walls, and slab variants. I'm also going to need a few skulk veins. 5 will do. And then because it is still a pillager outpost, even if it's getting a skulk makeover, so I'm also going to put 8 ominous banners on it. Ominous banners are something that you only get from pillager captains or sometimes from raids. And my hero of the village farm is pretty good for this because it does get your pillager captains from the bottom. So if we fly over, we could get a couple from it. You know what? I can't really take. I can take one, but I'll break the machine if I take too many. Don't worry though. There's always plan B, which is to fly over to my very first raid farm. I don't know why I didn't come here to start with, because I'm pretty sure I made a chest that filters out all of the banners. There you go. It does. I think I blocked it, but we've got all of them in here that we're going to need. So let's get all 8 of them. That means I've got every single item, and I can begin building the skulk-infested pillager outpost. So I've done the starting outline for this, and I also need to dig out the entire floor. From there, I can fill it in with skulk catalysts. Granted, it probably would have been a lot cheaper just to use the skulk blocks, but this is just a little bit more robust. You're not going to accidentally break the floor, are you? And then I'm going to steadily build the walls upwards. And on these little bits here, there are going to be skulk sensors and skulk shriekers, but I'm not going to add them until the end. Otherwise, they're just going to keep going off while I'm building, and it'll just make everything noisy. This is the height of the first floor, and this is where it actually is kind of useful to use skulk catalysts, because you can see them from the side and you can see them from below, and it gives a very interesting look, doesn't it? Now to continue building everything upwards, you can see from here, you can look out. It's nice and spacious. That's exactly how it is in the outpost. And we can fill all of this in. I don't know how I feel about the bottom of Skulk Catalyst. Like, from the top and the sides, they look pretty cool. From the bottom, it just looks really weird. I can now continue bringing these walls up even higher. And after I've added this floor down, which makes it the top one, I'm now going to add all of the ominous banners. And that is where you'll be able to tell that it is indeed a pillager outpost, even if it doesn't look like a normal one. Kind of just going to step back and have a look. Yeah, you know what? It's definitely coming together. It's definitely got the feel of the outpost, but it's also very skulky as well. The roof is going to be made up entirely of skulk blocks, as you can see, and I'm building these up layer by layer. And after that, it is now time to add all the decorations. As at the moment, it kind of looks quite bare. To begin with, instead of a normal chest at the top, it's instead going to be an ender chest. I think, you know, that looks quite cool, doesn't it? And then entirely around the outside at the top, I'm going to put skulk shriekers. This is why it kind of will get noisy if these start getting activated. But the good thing is, unless I stand on top of one of them, it won't make a noise. However, I'm going to add something else that will make it make a noise. And that is the skulk sensors. I'm going to have them around the outside. They're going to be along here like so. And yeah, every time they detect a vibration now, they're all going to get set off. So it's going to get noisy. Obviously, because I placed the skulk shriekers, they can't go off. So that's at least a bonus, you know, that, well, a warden can't spawn anyway. Otherwise, I definitely wouldn't be building with these. But yeah, it just adds a bit of decoration around the outside. And I can add a little bit of skulk here and there just as an extra touch. And that is my skulk outpost complete. I think it's looking pretty cool indeed. I'll just touch up the area around the outside by filling in these gaps with snow. And that is the medium structures done, which means I can now move on to the big ones. Now, of course, I did say earlier that as part of the Nether Fortress transformation, I was going to turn all the normal nether brick to be red nether bricks. And let's just say I'm glad I prepared in advance by building this farm, because now I can just go into this chest, grab all the nether wart, and craft the 1,000 red nether bricks that I need. And you may have been wondering, why did I need 60 buckets of lava? Well, wonder no more, because these trenches that I've just dug are going to be filled... Okay, well, not like that. Get it right, SB. Remove the snow before you place it. But yeah, these trenches that I've built are going to... I did it again. Yeah, anyway, they're going to be built with... Or they're going to be filled, should I say, with lava. As long as I wait for the lava to get rid of the snow, I don't really have to worry about anything. It's just slow and steady. Repeat the same process over and over again. And with this side done, the other part is just going to be a mirror image of it. It's also going to be filled with lava. I do feel that something like this really does improve the feel of the fortress, just having lava running through it. I don't know why Minecraft doesn't add it. They could learn a thing or two from this video. Although in its current state, it's not very safe. You could end up walking into it, which is why on top of it, there's going to be glass. You'll see the lava, but you won't be able to walk into it. And then either side of the glass, there's just going to be this red nether brick. Looks quite good. You can also see I've got a bit of a pattern going here with the nether wart. It's also going to go on top. That is really going to drive me crazy if I have to keep building it. Good job it's not going to go on like that forever, because it only happens when I'm right next to it. And you know what I also want to do? I want to add a secret shulker box right here. I'm not putting anything in it just yet, but it'll be very, very cool when I do. Let's just add a few more of these on and then layer everything up even more with red nether brick. And this middle bit is a part of the fortress that you've seen many times before. It's the room that kind of separates the outside part of the fortress to the inside part. Although in this fortress, it doesn't. Anyway, we're going to put lava on top. And then you can see they've got the secret shulker box. You wouldn't know it's there. And there has to be some good loot in it, doesn't there? What do you reckon? A couple of netherite ingots. I think that's probably what it should be. So let's go ahead and add 1, 2. And then I'll also have a load of gold to go around the outside. Oh, you know what? You'd be very glad if you discovered that chest, wouldn't you? Imagine if there was just like 1 in 100 fortresses had something underneath the lava here. That would be quite cool. Anyway, we'll see if they ever had it. Very unlikely indeed. Instead, I should just focus on building this up even higher. And this room is starting to come together. We're kind of just going to have fences alternating with the bricks, which is something you do see in this room in fortresses. Yeah, it's getting there. I'll also add the ceiling on top. And then I'm also going to build a full beacon, because I feel like the ones I've got dotted around the world don't really fit into the scenery very well. Or instead, they're just very, very out of place. So if I build one on top of here, it'll probably look a bit nicer. From the outside, it looks like it's built of gold. But on the inside, there's a load of iron, just to save resources a little bit. Then the beacon can go on top. I do also want a bit of red stained glass, which I don't have on me. So I'll grab one of those. And now it does look a bit better with the beam being red. And finally on top, I'm going to add another alternating pattern of fences and blocks. So that is this bit done. But what about this little area right here? Well, this is going to be one of the thrones that you find in the fortress, and this always has a blaze spawner. Although I unfortunately don't have any of the mob spawner blocks available to me to place. So for this build, it'll sadly have to do without, but I'm still going to bring this all the way around. I can make it look almost the same. It just looks like somebody came and broke the spawner or something like that. So that is this bit done. And then I just need to add the fences round the outside. And it is done. Operation Transform the Fortress is complete. You walk into it right here. Then you can go through, have a little look in that room, and finally go to the throne part. I quite like it. And now we are on to the final one that we're going to be transforming. It's the Desert Pyramid. And this one is the hardest because it is going to require 100 stacks of diamonds. Now, don't worry, guys, because right now I have a grand total of 2. Yeah, I've got 2 diamonds. But don't worry, because in my ender chest, I think I've got 4 more and then 8. Yeah, you know what? Let's just see how many we've got all together. I'll quickly just mine these up. 30. That's not bad. What else? I need 100, so I need 99.5 stacks. Yeah. All right, we have got a little bit to go. But in my world, as you can see, I have collected up 32,804 diamonds. So getting another 6,000 shouldn't be that hard, especially when you consider that I have Minecraft's ultimate mining machine, the Infinibore, which has cleared out thousands and thousands and thousands of blocks for me to be able to find diamonds. And as amazing as this machine is, it's kind of outdated. A newer and better Infinibore has been released. You see, Cubic Meter saw me build it to collect Netherite and saw how unfriendly it was for a survival player. So he's made one that is much better, much more customizable, and much more survival friendly with the resources. So I say we build that and use it to collect up all the diamonds that I need for the Diamond Desert Pyramid. And in order to build this, I'm going to start at the bottom and slowly work my way upwards. All these redstone lamps are one of the ways to see the machine's progress whilst it's running. And this right here is the bit that splits up the TNT. The old Infinibore used minecarts to separate all of them out. But this one is so much better because it uses iron nuggets. Well, it can technically be any item, which makes it really, really cheap to do. And this bit of terrain right here is just slightly in the way. Like, I can leave all of that, but this bit just needs to be moved out a little bit to make room for a little water chute that will push the TNT along, and the stonecutter will help align it. And then this massive platform here is going to be the base of the conveyor that will warp all of the TNT into that wall and thus break loads and loads of blocks. I've now fully built up the TNT conveyor bit, as you can see, and that's the height that the TNT is going to go for. So it does make a taller tunnel than the last one. I also need to put composters like this with redstone, and I also need to use carrots to add a slight bit of compost to the composters. And what that does is it changes the signal output that they will now give to a comparator. And now comes a very important part where I have to add in the barrels, but I can't just place them. No, I have to fill them. Each one needs to be filled with 20 wooden axes. It's a fairly simple task. The only difficult bit is that I don't really have that much inventory space, so let's clear a little bit more. It works best if I craft 40 sticks at a time, then all the axes, and then fill the barrel. And the actual purpose of these axes is just to give the comparators a certain signal strength, although I don't have any now, because I had to put them in here. So, yeah, coming out of these barrels, we're going to have comparators. All the other ones have them. And then on the layer above, I'm going to add even more barrels, and they also all need to be filled up with 20 axes. Although, having said that, these 5 barrels here only need 19 in. So yeah, it's a minor detail, but it's very important to the machine. There we go. And this is also the part where I need to write out some books and then add them to the lectern and make sure it's on the correct page. I've got more redstone lamps here to make another progress bar, which will once again help in making sure that the machine doesn't break. On this rail right here, I'm going to put a minecart, and this is going to act as a player detector, because if I add a pressure plate on top, you'll see it keeps activating, and that means the game knows that a player is nearby. And when the player flies away so the machine can run, the minecart will no longer be loaded, and this pressure plate will not be activated. So let's be very careful. Nothing should activate it. It should all be fine. And with that, the machine is done. Yes, it looks quite complicated, and I will also add all the signs above the lecterns to say what each thing does. And I'm also going to mine away a bit more of this wall here, just to make sure it's fully out of the way and nothing interferes. There we go. I reckon that should be more than enough mined out. And that's every single one of the signs is sorted. I just need to dye it and also make it glow so it looks nice. I'm also going to fly to the AFK spot that we need to wait at whilst the machine is running. It's right over here in this exact chunk. I'll just pop back to the storage to offload all of my items. And now, to put it simply, we just need to test the machine. I'm pretty sure all the settings are correct. I'm not going to explain them right now. Instead, I'm just going to add an item here. I'm going to turn this down to be 0, so it only does a small tunnel, just so we can make sure it's working. You can see this is flashing. This means it's ready to go. We use this, and now I think we just fly over here. We fly over here and we wait in this chunk. I'm going to add some glass walls just to make it a little bit safer. And whilst I'm in here, the machine will be busy working. And now the correct amount of time has passed, so it should be done. And look at this. The machine has worked perfectly. It's only done a tiny tunnel. As I said, it was just a little test run. But already, look at all the diamonds. And because it's a taller tunnel, look at that. It reveals way more diamonds up there. It gets more in the sides. And it blasts more for me as well. Look at that. I didn't even mind the ones in the walls, and I already got nearly 2 stacks. That only took me a couple of minutes, which is kind of crazy. So now it's time to do the big operation. Having this set to 0 made it a 50 block long tunnel. If I change it to 90, it'll be 500 blocks long. And if I also set it so that it repeats itself 15 times, that will mean that the tunnel is going to be 7,500 blocks long, and I should have no problem in getting the 100 stacks of diamonds needed. Well, many hours have now passed and the machine has finished. And whilst I've been here, I've been getting loads and loads of wool. In fact, we're completely overflowing. Well, that's a nice byproduct. Don't know what I'll do with it all, but it's kind of cool. And now, let's see how the machine has done. And look at this. Just look at this. A never-ending tunnel, 7,500 blocks wide, revealing loads and loads of diamonds. It goes on and on and on. There's going to be so much to get here, so I will be able to get the 100 stacks. Now, once I have grabbed these, in fact, I've got it, that brings me to 75 stacks and 1 diamond, which means I'm getting very close because there's now just 25 stacks to go. I eventually ran out of diamonds at the side, so I've now just been collecting the ones in the middle. And I think at this point, I've got enough. I think I've collected all 100 stacks. And this is the complete border of the diamond blocks. Now, on the outside, it's all going to be diamond. On the inside, it's going to be light blue concrete. And the reason for this is simply because it would require another 400 diamond blocks or another, like, 60 stacks of diamonds. Just didn't have time for that. So I think diamond on the outside and blue concrete on the inside is a nice compromise. So in the floor here, we're going to have the pattern that you see in every single desert pyramid. But in the very, very middle, we're going to have a netherite block. Just to make it a little bit more OP. Now you can see why I needed so many diamonds. The downstairs bit is also pretty much done now. So I can start adding the ceiling to this room. Towers are fairly straightforward. It's just getting that pattern correct. But once you've got that, you're then just layering it up and roofing it off. Now to do the exact same thing on this side. And with that done, it's just time for this middle bit here, which I call the face. Really, it's just a pair of eyes. It's very, very simple. So there you have it. The front is done. And not only is the front done, the entire build is as well. So this is my very OP desert pyramid. I'd love for the entire thing to be diamonds, as I said, but the time it would take to get all of those diamonds on top of what I already got, it's just going to be so many more hours that I just can't do that. I want to build the world's tallest house. It's going to go from bedrock all the way to sky limit, and it's going to have 96 floors. And I'm going to build it right here because this is a chunk that I've mined all the way down to the bottom. I'll also get rid of this glass because it doesn't really need to be here. And because it's going to be so massive, I'm going to need 5,000 planks and 2,000 logs. Apparently, the record for the world's tallest house is 382 blocks. And all it is just a house with a really, really tall chimney, which in my opinion is just a bit lazy. But if I use trapdoors as the floor, I can make it so that the bottom of the house is as low as possible. And if I build it all the way up to sky limit, it'll be 384 blocks tall. I'll add another couple of stairs here, and I'm going to make the inside out of iron trapdoors so that you don't accidentally open it and fall down. Next, I can start adding the details so it actually looks a bit more like a house with windows and paintings on the walls because the rules state that the house must be furnished with paintings and beds, etc. From there, I can add a bit of a ceiling, build up another room, and this one is going to be a nice little bedroom. On the front, I'd also like to add a couple of fences with a bell and a hanging sign. Doesn't sign ink just look amazing? And then this house is not going to have just one bedroom. Oh no. Instead, it's going to have a grand total of 96. Yep, these are just going to keep going all the way up to sky limit. So I'm going to get busy and get to work building so that I can break this record. And once I finish this roof, that is the world record for the world's tallest house in Minecraft. And my goodness me, it is massive. And you can barely even see the top of the ladder. It just goes so far. And with that checked off the list, we can now begin phase 2, which is to build the world's largest house. Before I do actually build this, I'm going to grab a load of netherrack and a load of glass. Next, I'm going to build all the way up to sky limit, where I can then build a glass platform to cover this entire build and stop snow from getting in the way. There we go. And now I can start building. Now, the giant house that I am about to build is going to be modeled after this little house right here, except it's obviously going to be way, way bigger. The inside's going to be something like this, and that's it. So now let's transform that into the world's largest house, and I'm going to have secret little rooms inside of it as well. After a bit of time, I have organized this so that in this chest, it's all the ingredients for the oak logs right there. In here, we have all the cobblestone ingredients for those bits. This is the planks, and this is the inside of the log. So I just feel like I'll have a bit more space in my inventory whilst I'm building this. Whereas if I was to take every single possible item with me, I think I'd start struggling for space very, very quickly. And if I just add these down, you can probably already start to see it taking shape. Yeah, I've successfully built one log block. I've not done these two sides because you won't be able to see them, so I'm saving resources. And as you can see from this house, there is 4 logs stacked on top of each other. So I'm going to continue building it upwards until it reaches that height. And that is as high as this one needs to go because it's going to connect to the roof, which is this bit right there. And so I've successfully built one of the corner pillars. And so now I'm going to get to work and build the other 3. That's all of those done. I feel like I've spent ages placing blocks, and in reality that's just a small fraction of the build. Although the beauty of this system is, because I know everything that I took was for these logs, when I need to build more of them, I know where the items are. Next, we're going to move on to building the cobblestone stuff, and I'm going to begin with these 4 cobblestone stairs at the front of the house. Isn't it great to have a little miniature representation as I'm building? So this right here is the staircase outline, and now I just need to build the textures upwards. And now we're at enough of a height where we need to actually make the flat bit of the staircase, so we're going to go for something like this, and then we can continue stacking the staircase up right here. And that is the stairs at the front completely done. And I have to say, it is just starting to look a bit like a house now, isn't it? Long way to go though. I think now I'm going to build the entire front of it. Then it looks like we're making progress. I've used so many blocks so far, and now you know I really wasn't joking when I said this was going to be the world's largest Minecraft house. And with that, the 2 blocks of cobblestone at the front are done, which means next I'm going to do these 2 logs. And now with the wood done, it's taking shape even more. And next I can add the cobblestone that goes on top. And once I get these blocks down right here, other than the roof, I've completely done the front. Are you ready for the big reveal? There you go. How's it looking? It's looking very flat, if you ask me. Yes, noticeably 2-dimensional, but don't worry. By the time I'm finished, it will look amazing. Just trust me. And I reckon my next main focus should be to get the other 3 outer walls all built. Then it will start to look a lot more like the house than it is supposed to. Fantastic. And that is certainly helping it to take a bit more shape. But I still do have to make it 3D, so I need the walls on the inside. And I also need the inside floor, so I'm going to get busy building that. What I've built just now are the cobblestone blocks that the doors are going to sit on top of. And next I need to grab all of the dirt because it's going to go right here. And then everywhere else is going to be oak plank floors. Now, the reason this is dirt is because it's going to have a carpet on top, just like this one in the house. And the block palette for the planks are these blocks in here, so I'm going to grab all of them. And I'm also sick of phantoms. To be honest, a lot of the time I decide not to sleep because I want the day count to move as slowly as possible because I don't want to get to 10,000 days too soon, since that is when I plan to end the series. So that's why a lot of the time I don't sleep at night. But if phantoms are going to cause me that much trouble, then I'm willing to sacrifice one night from the series. And as it happens, the texture for oak planks is a little bit less complicated than the ones for the walls, which is always good news. And next, I think getting the carpet down will make it look even more homely, since it's very important that this place does feel like a house. Perfect. The dirt's now covered up, and I know I've still got to get the roof on, which, you know, in due course, but the main thing that's bothering me is the lack of interior walls. I think it's so important that we get those in as soon as possible. So I'm going to grab all the needed materials and make the inside look as good as the entire rest of the build. And now things really are starting to come together. And that's one of the windows, also now done. And it's the same for the other one. And now you're probably wondering, why did I leave a little hole right here? And the answer is that I want to make a little base inside that's inside a mouse hole. It just gives a cool little feel, because obviously I'm very tiny compared to this house. So my home could be inside the mouse hole. That's my thinking, ladies and gentlemen. Let's build it. Now I'm going to start by building the floor, which is basically just an extension of the oak plank texture. And then I'm going to start decorating the room with all kinds of nice furnishings. This right here can be a little bed. I'll add bamboo tables on that side and this side as well. And then I'll continue to build up the walls. I've also built a couple of staircases up here. And the reason for that is to have an extra level, because it wouldn't be that interesting if the secret base in the mouse hole only had one room. This upstairs room is looking pretty good to me, and it just needs the final ceiling adding on top. Perfect. The secret base inside the mouse hole is looking very, very nice, and I think it fits into the entire build very, very well. Both of these doors are looking great now, and I reckon right here we should build a bed. It's going to look just like the one in here, and I will start by building up the legs. From there I can add in the base of the bed, and then the red duvet and the pillow as well. It's really coming together, isn't it? I think a little shelf here with a plant bottom would look nice. Let's have a look. Yeah, from a distance up here, I like it. And I'm going to put some stuff on top of it, such as a couple of plant pots. And I'll also have a couple of saplings growing out of these plant pots, like so. Yeah, it's really coming together. Nice decoration up there. And that is that. Everything is now complete, except for the roof. The roof is the final thing that needs to be added onto this. And that is the entire build complete. Here's the tiny version, here's a charged creeper, and here is the world's largest Minecraft house. Built from over 100,000 blocks, and with a fully furnished interior and secret room. First, if I want to build a pig cannon, I'm gonna need pigs. Any volunteers? Oh, don't think you can escape. Come on, your sacrifice, I mean service, will be greatly appreciated. I'm gonna grab a bunch of carrots, take them to the nether, and then I'm gonna take them 12,000 blocks in this direction. Come on, guys, we've got a long walk ahead of us. Put my wallet on the keyboard. Oh, my wallet's not heavy enough. There's one for you. SP's wallet isn't heavy enough to put the keyboard down. Now I can eat, run, and everything. And there's 11,000 blocks to go. And this right here is the spot. So I'll make him a nice little home out of glass. To be honest, it looks more like a prison, doesn't it? And then I shall breed them until I've got loads of them. And now my 2 pigs has become a lot more. I've lost count. No, I don't need all you guys because you're all gonna die. It's just in case you get lonely. Yeah, some of those pigs are gonna end up dying. And wait, what are you doing up here? Man just came here with his mycelium, and now he's trapped here forever, and also gonna be constantly angry at me. Yeah, it's cold up here. Stop shivering. Yeah, I need to stop tormenting mobs and get out of here. Now, in order to safely downgrade my world, I'm gonna have to take off all of my armor, and that's just because armor trims were not a thing in 1.18. Thankfully, I've got spares right here, and I also need to get rid of skulk, smithing templates, and I'm just going to get rid of this one in case. It predominantly requires powered rails and sandstone, and because I need to build 2 of them, I need twice as many of the resources. And once I grab 4 sea pickles, I've got everything that I need. So I'm going to go ahead and fly back to the exact spot that my pigs are at and begin building the update suppressor. And if you haven't seen me build one of these before, it's basically just a bunch of platform layers with a load of rails on top. And that is the final layer of rails done. There was 8 in total, and now I must add a bunch of them all the way up to the redstone block, followed by a bunch of redstone above. Although the portal I'm going to slice is going to be down there, so I'm going to slightly adjust it by adding the rail down there. I'm pretty sure that ought to do it. And yes, it does look a little different to normal. I still haven't downgraded, so this suppressor will not work yet, because before I go any further, I'm going to build a portal and then build another update suppressor on this side. And I've almost finished building this, but I'm apparently an idiot and I can't count properly because I did not bring enough sticky pistons to build it. Rookie error, SB. One of these pigs probably could have done a better job at it. Hey, what are you doing now? Oh, wait, it's another Enderman? And there's me thinking you'd got out of the boat. Well, come on then. In you get. This guy's just chilling. He doesn't even know there's a guy behind her. Mate, there's someone behind you. That's his scared face. I'll give you something to be scared about. Kablam! Yeah, have you ever seen something so cursed? Anyway, time to stop terrorizing Enderman, and you guys for that matter. And instead, I'll quickly fly back, grab some slime and pistons, and then fly all the way back to finish the machine. And there's nothing more to do. It's now time to downgrade the world and slice them portals. So I'm going to save and exit the world. And then in the world save regions folder, I'm going to set these 4 files to be read only. And that's so that my spawn chunks don't get corrupted. Let's now load it back up. I know what I'm doing, Mojang. I've done downgrading many times. I tell you, I know what I'm doing. Don't ask me twice. Everything seems fine at first glance. And this is the exact spot that the slice portal needs to be. So let's build up a normal one, light it up, and then turn on the update. Hey, my signs have gone. More dangerous to downgrade your world than I thought. You'll not be able to see the text. Also, what is a bee doing here? Where did it come from? I can turn the machine on, use the note block, and now we're suppressing. And when I break this obsidian, you can see it has suppressed. I can also break the obsidian up here and all of this. We don't need it. And I've just remembered to remove this. I'm actually going to need some water. I've got some buckets, so no need to worry about that. And as well as that, something I actually forgot about is that I need some fences, which I can craft very, very easily. So let's use the water right here to break the... Okay, that did not work. Time for take two, only this time I'm going to use my brain and make it a 2-wide portal so that when it gets split, it just leaves one on its own. And if I break the obsidian underneath, this portal block will break. So I'm going to first add a couple of pieces like this, then break the rail, add a block, put more on top, adjust the slime, and suppress that so that this bit of obsidian will not break it. And then I do the exact same thing, 1 block lower, leaving me with exactly what I need. Finally, I'll add some glass around that won't affect the portal, and slice number 1 is done. And now to do the exact same thing right here. For this one, this is where the sea pickles and fences come in, because either side, there's going to be 2 like that. And I've also moved the line up so that I can place obsidian. Oh, well, that didn't work, did it? I fixed all the issues with the machine. I can place this right here. And this time it didn't break. And that's that. I don't need update suppression anymore, but just in case anything happens, I'll perform a tile entity swap to create a glitched shulker that will not open. So I'll be able to do update suppression in the nether in 1.20.1. And I just accidentally made floating rails. What on earth is this all about? Anyway, I should stop having fun and get my game back to 1.20. And before that, I'll change the region files to no longer be read-only. And it's nice to be back in the present version. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this update suppressor in its entirety because it no longer works. And with that one gone, I can get rid of this one too. And that is job done. Which means Operation Downgrade the World and create the slice portals is complete. So now I'll fly away and make it back home. And that means I can put my good armor back on. None of this diamonds are for peasants rubbish. And now it's time for phase 2 to build a pig cannon so I can travel anywhere in the world instantly. One of the items I'm going to need a lot of for this project is glass. And that is why I've grabbed a load of sand to fill up all of these chests. Now I'm looking at the furnace array. There seems to be an issue. We ran out of fuel. That's actually quite a big issue. It should distribute all the blaze rods out evenly. Apparently the machine has failed me. But that's very, very problematic. Everything's going to break unless I quickly grab a load of blaze rods and fill all of it up. That is all smelting very nicely indeed. I can go straight back into these shulker boxes. And whilst I wait for that, I also need 60 stacks of activator rails and a load of slime, which I don't have enough of. That could be a problem. Although remember, I'm SB737 and I have a farm for everything, including slime. It's actually at the EOL farm. And you see all these green shulker boxes? Wait, apparently I don't have any. See, this guy's as confused as me. Look at me. Why are you staring at me? What are you looking at? Okay, this... You know what I said about having a farm for everything? Apparently I've got a farm for nothing, because this is absolutely terrible. Yeah, I've had better amounts of slime in my time. But don't worry, if my name's not SB737, I've not got 1 farm for everything. I've got 2. You all told me it was completely unnecessary to have that many farms. But who's laughing now? I've just got to try and remember where it is. I think this is the spot. Now the question is, do we actually have any slime in here? No. I also need to stop taking my sunglasses off. It's going to give me and everyone else nightmares. But slimes will spawn at this farm down below. I'll just have to turn the mob switch off. But you get the point. This pig cannon is going to require a lot of items. So I reckon I just get busy getting as many of them as I can. And do you want to see a cool trick? Are you ready? Ta-da! Look at that. No damage. You dare me to do that without a totem in my hand just to see what happens. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you get in a boat with a mob, especially if it's a creeper, and you'll be absolutely invincible. Also, I'm sorry for the people that get annoyed about creeper holes. I'm just gonna walk away from this one and begin the great item collection spree. And I've almost got every single item, but the lack of slime is a slight problem because all of these need to be sticky pistons, and I need more slime blocks. So I'm going to go down this tunnel to swim to spawn. Then I'll disable the mob switch. And then I'm going to head back to my slime farm, grab a sword. And it turns out that this farm is broken too. Why are all my farms breaking? But thankfully, I'm so prepared that I don't have one slime farm in my world. I don't have two. Yeah, I've got three. Yeah, that's right, Mojang. You can break every farm of mine, but I've always got another. And if this one doesn't work, I think I'm just cancelling the video, deleting the world, quitting Minecraft. Please, game. Don't let me down. Yeah, it's let me down. One slime ball. How insulting. Who would even take... Yeah, I'm going to take it. And I wasn't joking about cancelling the video, quitting YouTube, deleting the world, all that. No, thanks for watching. See you later. I'm off. I just can't do this anymore. I'm just kidding. You think I've not got another slime farm? What kind of a Minecraft YouTuber would I be if I didn't have 4 of them ready to go? Now, to be honest, I wish I had another one, but I don't. But I just remember that all these shulker boxes along here will have slime in them. So we're back in business. And I just realized I have a load of slime here that I can steal from this machine because I don't use it anymore. And it's a little bit broken. It's also really weird to play my hardcore world with mobs spawning. I feel like I'm actually playing hardcore for once. It's kind of interesting. But honestly, mate, it would have been bad for you if you just didn't show up to work. That's what I sometimes say to my actual employees as well. Call this a cup of tea.
Sorry, bastard.
You will be. And you know what? These world eaters have loads of slime I can steal. You know what? I should stop wasting so much stuff and then I wouldn't run out, would I? When finished with something, you should always mine it up. And now I've almost got all the sticky pistons. And I've definitely got all the needed slime. So to get the last few remaining bits, I'm going to grab all of those blocks. Take out a few extra slimes. Slime, 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 dun, dun. Slime, 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 slime. Don't die. Slime, 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 slime. Don't judge me. It's just to help the editor, okay? And that should be enough. Also, I completely forgot that I released loads of villagers into the swamp when I was getting a swamp villager. Guys, I'm so sorry. You must be terrorized by this. I will protect you. I got him into this mess and I can get him out of it. No. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Please don't blow up, Creeper. This would be a bad time. Yeah, that's it. Go into this hole. I will protect... Oh, no. This guy's just jumped out of nowhere. Yeah, I think at this point it's best if I just leave. And turn the mob switch back on so that there's no more casualties. So mission to get every single item is done. I can stop clowning around and get busy building the pig cannon. I'm not going to explain every single piece of redstone because it's quite complicated and I don't even understand every single bit of it. But where I'm stood here is where the pigs are going to go. And there's also going to be an iron golem in this slot. So I'll temporarily put a block here. I'll add chains either side. So I'll spawn this guy in. It looks very... Oh, don't you look at me like that. I am your creator. Then we break that. And I kind of need to just carefully push him in. There we go. And then I'm going to use pistons to push these glass blocks into his hitbox. And I'll also do the exact same thing on the other side. Alright, pigs, follow me to your new home. Looks like they're being dragged rather than willingly follow me. Don't worry, guys, it's all okay. And pig number 1 is in. My goodness, I've never seen so many different types of pigs in one area. All I can say, mate, is if you start taking steroids, you'll look something like that. Which, other than the Mohican, I don't think you want. And it's so aggressive as well. Anyway, let's get you up here. You're destined for greater things than just a few gym workouts. That's 11 of them there in total, which is definitely enough. And there's a few spares over here if I ever need them. And don't ask what that pork chop was from. A hoglin. Yeah. Definitely a hoglin. I'm sorry, guys. I killed your brother. Anyway, let's focus on building this machine and getting all this redstone down. Redstone progress is very good. I have no idea what's going on in there. Oh, you don't like me looking and seeing what's going on? You leave me alone. Getting all defensive. What do you got to hide, Mr. Enderman? Anyway, as I was saying, a good chunk of the redstone has been done. And the way it works is I'm going to be filling this chest up with minecarts. One will pick up a single pig. And then once I've extended this line a bit more, the pig will get split from the minecart. And I'm going to build a piston bolt going in that direction that will move the minecart away. The pig will stay here, and that's where the magic happens. I'll finish the build before I can explain it further. But you also may be wondering, why is there a massive wall? Well, it's all for these redstone blocks, which are a binary counter. And these dictate how long the machine runs for. And that dictates where the pig goes in the world. Basically, the longer that these binary counters are going on for, the further the pig will go because it'll get more momentum. I know that doesn't fully make sense. I'll explain it in much more detail when the entire machine is done. There's also a couple of hopper timers, so I need to put 16 items in this one. Kind of ironic I'm using pork chops for it in a pig farm. I don't know why that guy is in there. You should leave the pigs alone. Anyway, I'll probably get this all built and then I can show you how I use trapdoors to update the walls to update the binary counter. It was a lot of rails to place, but it's done. All of them are down. I mean, just look at it. It's kind of repeating the same thing over and over again, but it's quite complicated. And what do you want? Do you mind? I'm trying to explain complicated redstone. Where did he go? I have no idea. But yeah, it's absolutely massive. And there is one issue. All these composters are meant to have one layer of compost in them. Also, apparently Americans say composter. No, in England, we say composter. Good old British accent. So I'm going to go and get a load of crops to fill it. But that does mean flying 12,000 blocks all the way home. I reckon taking all these pumpkin seeds could be the way. I'll also quickly repair my elytra, and then the flight back can begin. Now to stock up these, just needs 1 seed per composter, which is very, very straightforward indeed. There we go. And to greatly simplify this, as the different rails are activated, this activates different trapdoors, which activates different pistons down here, moving the redstone blocks into different positions, and that allows the binary counter to control how much momentum the pig gets. However, there is still quite a bit more redstone to be added here, so that's what I'm going to get busy adding now. Right here we have a little tripwire hook which will detect the pig, and all the redstone down there is done. I know most of it doesn't make sense. I will explain it. But right now, I'm going to cover it all up with this platform. This little fenced area is the spot that the pig will pop up at. And using this note block is what will send us flying far, far away. But before worrying about that, I need to set up the control panel. And that is that bit all done. This carpet allows me to jump in and out if I need to. This chest will be full of saddles. This indicator tells me that there are pigs in the machine, otherwise it won't work. And currently it is selected to go to the world border. So for now, I'll leave it on that setting. And there's just one bit left. You see, for part of this machine to work, it has to transport a minecart to out of your render distance where the lazy chunks are. And that means that there's a load of redstone items here that I need to start placing down. And this is going to go all the way out for 16 chunks. So I'd better get to work. And it is done. This little bit here is what will destroy the minecart that will release the pig. But I'll probably explain that in a moment. For now, I need to add something that's very important, the TNT, because this is what is going to give the pig some upward momentum. But I wanted to do it last so that I didn't accidentally blow anything up. Finally, I add the glass on top with a couple of observers, and it's all done. Finally, I'll just add a minecart right here, light this portal, and add a few more, because that's what makes the chunk loader work. And 18 random items need to go in this hopper to act as a timer. And that is that. I can take all this with me. There's not much more to be done in the nether. No, instead I can now get the resources to build the side on the overworld. And don't worry, it's way, way smaller. It's basically just a massive boat dispensing system, but I need to go back to get the resources for it still. The item I need the most of is 10 stacks of glass, 3 stacks of obsidian, packed ice, normal ice, and all of these other items. And boats, I need a ridiculous amount of boats, so I'm just going to bring a shulker box of oak logs. So I need to head through this portal, and then I'll quickly clear out a couple of these trees, just to make sure that nothing gets in my way. Because you certainly don't want to get in the way of SP737. Do I sound intimidating? No, I don't think I do. Anyway, I've got my ice, I've got my glass, so let's build a system that basically just dispenses and collects loads and loads of boats. And that's also why I brought all of this wood, so that I can make sure the system is full to the brim. And that is the bottom layer done. You can see how high the machine is going to be. And the portals are going to go all the way to the top as well. So as I build up the redstone, I'll build up these too. And this part of the machine is also done. Which means everything's good with the pig cannon. I am ready to use it to travel far, far away. Now, to begin with, I will remove this portal. Then I can head on through. Next, I'll load up this chest with minecarts. And it's ready. It is well and truly ready to go. Pretty much all I'm missing is a few saddles so I can ride the pig. So I shall fly all the way home so I can make the preparations needed to use the machine and go to the world border. First of all, I need 10 obsidian and flint and steel. Then I need at least 1 saddle, which we have in the junk chest. I've also got some spare ones in my bedroom that are definitely worth bringing. I also think it'd be cool if I brought one of my dogs to the world border, because it's actually possible to do that as well. Buddy, you are the chosen one. You're going to go where very few dogs have ever gone before. And perhaps the most important thing out of all of this is I need to create a way to get back. Because getting stranded out there, hey, it's nice to be joined by you. Anyway, getting stranded out there would be a disaster. And the way to counter that is very, very simple, using a stasis chamber. I'll also need a fishing rod, ender pearls, and a wooden pressure plate. Yep, it's very, very simple indeed. Next, I'm going to fly back to spawn so that Buddy can come with me. And as long as he's in the spawn chunks, if I enter the nether and leave, he will teleport to me no matter where I am in the world. And that's because the spawn chunks are always loaded. Anyway, let's go ahead and build a nether portal right here, which is very, very necessary. And then I'm going to add a pressure plate to a stasis chamber. Use my fishing rod, put it into the offhand, throw an ender pearl. I saw this in a Cavs video, by the way. And if I reel in the rod, I teleport. Also, why has my dog gone to the nether? Buddy, you're meant to stay at spawn. But anyway, if I do the exact same thing, but instead of reeling it in, go through my nether portal, my fishing rod will still be locked to that pressure plate, and I can safely put it into my inventory without it unlinking. I've also apparently forgotten the shulker box with my obsidian in, so I've had to mine up another 10 pieces, and I can't go back and get the shulker box because it would break my stasis chamber and teleport my dog as well. It's kind of annoying on arrival. I'm greeted by a load of hoglins. This is a pig cannon, not a pigling cannon. You guys need to listen. And I need to grab some torches and actually light this platform up a little bit so that they can't spawn anymore. That should do it. I'll chuck the torches back in. Saddles into this chest, and as long as I don't move the fishing rod out of this part of the inventory, everything will be fine with the teleportation. And when using this pig cannon, you do end up taking a lot of fall damage because you go so high and far. So to try and negate that, stop myself from dying 100%, I have got a totem, of course, which is safe, but I'm also gonna grab my chest plate and put it on for extra protection. I'm also gonna go ahead and swap my elytra for a newer pair, just because they're a little bit out of durability, so we'll get all of that sorted. Turns out hoglins can spawn at any light level. Yeah, I didn't think that through. Oh, I look good in a chest plate, by the way. And there's nothing more I can do. The machine is set to go 3.75 million blocks out. So I'll eat one final pork chop and then press this note block to use the machine. To begin with, the pig gets picked up by a minecart. The cart gets moved away by this piston bolt to the lazy chunk at the edge of the render distance. And the pig gets left behind, but technically the pig is still in the cart, and because the cart is still in lazy chunks, this allows you to build up loads of momentum for the pig without it needing to be moved. It's actually building momentum up right now, even though it looks like he's completely frozen. And he also gets upwards momentum from the TNT. Here he is, nicely popping out of the ground. I'll put a saddle on him, and when this note block gets pressed, it will destroy the minecart that is over in lazy chunks. Because this little fella has so much momentum built up, he will go flying. So I'm going to sit on top of him. I'm going to right-click the note block. And we are going crazy. Look at it. It's glitching out. What blocks are we at? 1.6 million, 1.8 million, 1.9. We've got over 2 million blocks in a split second. Yes, the speed is crazy, guys. We had to wait 20 minutes for the machine to build the momentum up. And in just a couple of minutes, the pig... Okay, I was about to say the pig has flown far enough. He's sadly dead. And I sadly used a totem. But when we make this portal, it should take us to the world border. Here we go, moment of truth. And we are there. And my dog's there. What are you doing on the other side? Amazing. The world border. You and me, buddy. We have arrived. 29 million blocks away, and I got there super, super fast with the pig cannon. And there's a desert pyramid. You wait here, buddy. I'm going to check it out. I'll dig on down, and at the bottom, we've got a few golden apples and stuff like that. But, ooh, a nice armor trim as well. So as I said, my plan is to build a house. I'll need some materials for that. And in my ender chest, I'll get another What happened with my ender chest? I'm pretty sure I brought one. Hang on a minute. So I've just checked the footage. And did you see that? I put the ender chest into my ender chest. And I also put my elytra in there. I assumed it would be fine because I thought I'd bring my ender chest. So to be honest, I'm going to make a very, very basic house. Because I haven't got a totem. And I haven't got any way to get any more of them. The only saving grace is that I can instantly get home with the fishing rod, thankfully. So that at least it's not all doom and gloom. But you know what is doom and gloom? I've just realized... Unless I build a chunk loader out here, my dog is not going to teleport back. Buddy isn't going to teleport back when I do, which is sad. But obviously, I've got a way to get back here quicker now, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, getting him home in this video, I don't think it's possible. And I'm going to build the house right here. Like I say, it's not going to be anything too extravagant. Mainly because I don't have access to my ender chest, so I've lost a lot of possible resources. I'll make some trapdoors, which can be used as windows. And then right here, a little sandstone floor. I think that fits the theme very well. Followed by acacia stairs all the way around the outside. You know what? I don't have many other resources, so we're going to go for a crafting table roof. Don't ask. Kind of just ran out of acacia wood. And hey, you need a crafting table, you can't tell. Oh, wait. The roof is full of them, so, you know, it's kind of useful. It's the worst looking thing I've ever seen. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's just get back home. This is your little shelter, buddy. Remember, what are you doing? Okay, just sit down. Remember, I love you. You love me. And I am now going to put my fishing rod into my hotbar. And as soon as I right-click it, don't look at me with those puppy eyes, all right? See you later. I right-click this, and it will TP me back. Why has that not worked? Are you kidding me? Do you know what that means? We're stuck at the world border. No way. Why wouldn't that work? I was just joking, buddy. No. I was never going to leave you. Don't you worry. I can only guess maybe it's because I did save and quit the world and start it up again while I was traveling through the nether because I had to leave my PC and I don't want to leave the world open. So maybe that was it. I don't know. But guys, I have no totem. I have no elytra. I have no ender chests. And I am stranded at the world border without any real way to get back home. Even if I get an ender chest and get my elytra back, flying will take me hours and hours and hours, and I won't be able to get Buddy back. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this one. I thought building a world border cannon was a cool idea. Maybe I was wrong.
Okay, here we are. To be honest, after 8,000 days, I thought your world would be better than this. I feel like mine is better, but oh well. So this must be the stasis chamber. I'll just press this button and it worked.
I'm back, man. I owe you one cookie. Thanks so much. Is there anything you want to say?
Oh yeah, you guys should all subscribe to my channel.
No. Subscribe to me. Oh, it was just a dream. Well, of course it was. I forgot that a cookie god hates me. But yeah, eventually I will get home. I don't quite know how, but I promise that I will. Until then, though, I just need to make the best of being here. And speaking of which, where exactly is here? I think I'm going to spend the night exploring the area and see what I can find. Come on, buddy. You can come with me. Just don't die, because then I really will be all alone. So I'm in a desert, surrounded by acacia, with a forest right there. And then in this direction, it's just one massive ocean. So that could be a good place to explore. And I reckon the most useful thing for me to find is a village. If I can find one of those, then at the very least, I can trade for valuable resources. And you'll also notice that right now, it is nighttime, but no mobs are spawning. And this is because back at spawn, I have a mob switch filled with 81 shulkers. This means that the mob cap is always filled up and no hostile mobs can spawn, which you'd think would be a good thing, but that means I can't make valuable farms like a creeper one or a slime farm. So I won't be able to just easily get loads of firework rockets, and I won't be able to build another pig cannon to get back home. And it gets worse. You see, because no pillagers will spawn at an outpost, I won't be able to trigger a raid, and I won't be able to get any totems unless I find a pillager patrol or a woodland mansion. It also means I can't build a raid farm, so I can't get gunpowder and other resources that way. It really is a predicament. I'm just gonna have to stick to using farms in the nether. We have got ourselves a little jungle temple. So yeah, getting back home is really going to require me to think on my feet. What are you looking at, buddy? This is a thing of nightmares, isn't it? Why are you so close to me? Anyway, in here, I mean, I don't really need the armor trims. I'm going to leave them. Although bones will be unobtainable any other way, really. Unless I build a farm in the nether, so I will take them. So yeah, building farms that work in the nether is pretty much my only solution. And there is one thing that I can do to help myself. If I can get blaze rods and I can get an eye of ender, I can make a new ender chest. And that will allow me to access a lot of extra resources. So that is the first thing that I need to do. And I've found a village. Fantastic. This will be very, very useful indeed. I think my biggest priority here is to make sure that some of the villagers don't die. So I'm going to block them in. I don't know how they could die, but I do know that they are very, very stupid. And they'd probably somehow find a way. Let's go ahead and craft a boat. In you get, buddy. I'm not leaving you behind. You're the only memory left from... What are you doing? What is this? Let's just say he's nodding his head in agreement. Either that or he's got an itch that he's got to scratch. I've discovered another village over there as well. That's perfect. Good to know there's a couple... In fact, there's a third one as well. 3 in the area around my little base. And don't worry, I am going to improve this house. I know it's terrible. We're going to build something much, much better. So many of you guys were telling me the idea of just to go into a stronghold through the end portal and then I can get back. I'm not joking you. I literally had thousands of comments about this. It was very, very crazy. So why don't we do that? We can grab some eyes of ender. We can throw one. Oh, and the stronghold's in this direction. I wonder how far away it'll be. Why don't we throw another one and see? Oh, it's still in this direction. Well, let's keep going. I'm sure I'll be there before I know it. Well, let's go ahead and throw another one. Oh, it's still in this direction. Do you know how far in this direction it'll be, guys? 30 million blocks. Yes, it will be 30 million blocks away. And that is because a Minecraft world only has 128 strongholds. They generate in rings going further and further away from spawn, but stop after 24,000 blocks. And to prove that to you, here I am at the world border in a random world I made. If I do /locate structures stronghold, you'll see that the nearest one is at x equals 23,440, and I'm currently at x equals 29 million. So yeah, I wish it was that easy to get back, but it's going to be a little bit more complex. And because the only totem I have is this one right here, I'm going to begin phase 2, which is to get more of them by finding a woodland mansion. And this cartographer that I trapped in here is gonna help me with that. Oh, so it's paper that you want, good sir. Don't you worry about that. I've got a shulker box full of it, so let's grab it, hand it over, and now he wants glass. So much glass. Sadly, don't have a shulker box full of that, but you know what? I do have a desert. A desert absolutely full to the brim of sand. So I can mine it up. Could you mind? I nearly just went straight into you there. But yeah, I'm going to mine this up with this very powerful shovel. Trying not to smack my dog in the face. It is a pork chop for you. And next, I need furnaces and coal. Very convenient. So let's grab this pickaxe, mine up a bunch so that 4 of them can be crafted, the fuel can be mined up, and the sand can be smelted. I don't know if you know what it is. It's more like I can't explain it, Desro. In other news, I also need a compass, so let's grab 4 iron and a bit of redstone to craft that. And I have a bunch of emeralds as well, probably gonna come in handy. Let's make the panes and buy the Woodland Explorer map. Thank you, good sir. For the first time ever, you have been a useful villager to me. I also just realized I trapped you in this house. Completely forgot to block up one of the doors. My bad, mate. Now you are fully imprisoned. And you must slave away for the rest of your day. Is it just creepy me looking at me through the window? It would certainly creep me out if I saw that. So according to the map, we need to head southeast. I've also used up all my firework rockets. We have 1 stack there, which I am gonna grab. And then I've got 3 stacks of gunpowder, so I can make 9 more stacks. So that's good to know. And it looks like we're quite close, you know. We just now need to head directly south. Oh, and I've seen it. We've found the Woodland Mansion. It was actually very close to my base. Say what I have lost, though. My dog. I forgot to bring him with me. Come on, buddy. This trip is not for the faint-hearted. And with just 1 single totem, I'm gonna need all the support I can get. First things first, chest plate on. That's definitely the safest option. Next, I need my sword. I don't think I have any golden apples, but I do have regen and strength. Might as well put them to good use. Now, the priority here is to make sure none of us die. Alrighty? I've got my strength. I've got my sights set on the target. And let's do this. Let's go and get some totems. So far, downstairs is pretty quiet. Just a guy looking in his chests. I think I just took him out whilst he was AFK there. I don't think there'll be any evokers on the lower levels. Okay, get him. Wow, what a hero you are, buddy. But yeah, I think the evokers will be on the next floor up. But we'll clear this one out just in case. In fact, if I'm really being smart, I should grab my bow from the shulker. And then nobody stands a chance. Oh, I just nearly hit my dog. Well, okay. Thanks for the help. In fact, if I just take the hits, Buddy will just take him out for me. We make a great team. And even though I've lost everything in my hardcore world, I feel like I finally have a friend. Even if he has been with me for 8,000 days, he's just never come with me. Yeah, times a check. Oh, here we go. First chat. Oh, we just one-tapped him for a totem. Don't try it. No, buddy, don't do it. Don't go for the Vexes. Oh, you're gonna die. I'm gonna have to get rid of him because one hit from them on Buddy and he is dead. Leave them alone, all right? Once the evoker's gone, don't try to get them. More Vindicators and another evoker. Okay, this is where Buddy dies again, isn't it? Well, not again, but you know what I mean. Don't go for him. Stand back. I'm so weak, actually. Guys, I'm on 2 hearts. Okay, SP, just hang in there. You know what? If Buddy dies, we just got to accept that at this point. I feel like I finally have a friend. The one person who can't die is me. Otherwise, you really would be in trouble. There's more evokers. Okay, this time, I'm going to shoot him from a distance. He's not even going to know what's hit him. All right? He didn't even get the Vexes spawned. Perfect. And you didn't try to attack them, which is doubly good. Let's just go ahead. That's it. Get the final hit. And another totem. Now, we've got 4 altogether. There's actually so many. I'd say Buddy's the most useful thing ever. Okay. Please, Vexes, do not be a problem. We got another totem, and I believe you are the final enemy. So phase 2 to get more totems was a success. We now have 6 altogether, and a load of string if we want it. Well, I don't. I'll safely store all of these into my ender chest, and that leaves me with just 2 things left to do. Build a farm to get infinite food, and build a house that doesn't look like it was built by a 3-year-old. You know what, SP? That's offensive to 3-year-olds. Even they could do a better job than I did at this. So that will be rectified. Also, Buddy, what are you doing? Get out of the window. By far, the easiest farm to build for food is a hoglin one. I'm going to build it above the nether. This is just a very simple storage for the farm, and I'm going to expand this out because this is where the hoglins will fall and be cooked. Next, I'll build a nice little glass cage containing signs and lava. These slabs are going to act as the spawning platform. The way we'll get the hoglins to run into that lava is by adding a wart fungus, and I'm also going to add lights either side so that hoglins are the only mob that can spawn. Next, 3 blocks above, we're going to repeat the exact same thing. That's just how simple this farm is going to be. There's going to be 5 platforms in total, so I shall get busy building all of them. And for some reason, I didn't bring enough torches or enough slabs. Yeah, obviously, SP737 can't count. So I'll quickly grab more cobblestone and use my crafting table roof. Yeah, you're not laughing anymore at it, are you? Although, seriously, I will build a better house than this. I just don't know when. Also, buddy, who left you outside in the middle of the night? Come on. Are you stupid? What are you trying to do? Even with it open, there you go. Come on, then. If you prefer to use the wind... What is it with you in the windows? Anyway, I can place the slab, grab an extra torch from the shulker box, and start building up the chamber that the hoglins will fall down. This is the height that it needs to go to. So I'll now do the exact same thing on this side. And for this back wall, we need netherwart blocks and trapdoors. And the reason we're using netherwart blocks is because the hoglins will try to walk onto them. But if it was glass, they wouldn't, and mobs can't spawn on the netherwart. Now to do the exact same thing here, and it's going to rinse and repeat for all 5 layers. There we go. And to make sure that the hoglins never make it onto that block, we're going to add even more trapdoors on every single level. And it is done. Hoglins will spawn on the platforms, get scared of the warp fungi, and run into the lava. Meanwhile, I'm going to build up with 128 blocks and create a nice little glass platform up here, which I can AFK on, and then hoglins will spawn down below. I'm not going to need a crazy amount of food from this, just enough so I always have what I need to eat. Already the food is flowing in, so I'll stay up here for about 20 minutes and see how it goes. That should be long enough. Look at all these guys in here, and look at all this food. Fantastic. And it has to be said, it's a great day to be a baby hoglin. I might even let you escape from the cage. And you just smacked me in the face. Alright, I'm not a monster, but there's no need for that. Although I did murder his entire family, so maybe I did deserve it. So what is left for me to do? Well, I live in a potato of a house. I mean, it's so bad that Buddy doesn't even know where the door is. He thinks the windows are the way. Yeah, they're not cat flaps or dog flaps. Do they exist? Anyway, so we are going to build a much better base. Guys, I've found the world's first air block in Minecraft. This is so weird. Okay, it's fixed. No, wait, what? That is... Why? This is like a portal to the outside. Can I... If I jump up? Oh, I can... Wait, hang on a second. I can use it to x-ray. What? This is so crazy. What if I mine the blocks next to... What is going on? Oh my goodness. I've never seen anything like it. I literally have like a gateway to the outside. This is really... Yeah, buddy, he can't believe his eyes. Oh, I just smacked you. I'm so sorry. Here, have a pork chop. I'm just trying to mine. Will you watch where you're going? But this is crazy. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. It's like one of those portals. You move away, and it disappears. I don't know what I'm looking at. But since I need all this deep slate anyway, I might as well make this way bigger. Wait, I fixed it. Well, breaking just one of the blocks. Oh, it did all of those anyway. A lot of deep slate has been successfully gathered, and if I walk over here, I've got my wall of X-raying. It must be some glitch to do with being near the world border, I can only guess, because it's so weird. But it is also so cool. And look at that. Even some diamonds down there. Don't mind if I do. And with Operation Deep Slate being a huge success, I can now get busy collecting up every single other item. And I have now almost got every single item. However, I'm going to take the bone blocks and the wheat seeds, grab some cactus and cornflowers, because I'm also going to need a load of cyan dye in order to get cyan wool. I'll make a nice little wheat farm right here, and then bone meal the crops. Now to make a nice little sheep pen, breed them, and shear them as well. I also thankfully have leads in my shulker box, which will make gathering up the sheep much easier. I reckon all of these should be enough. You can come over here with me, and I can get busy by building up the walls for this entire thing. To begin with, it's going to be a stone brick base with andesite on top that is then covered in 5 layers of stone. Seriously, buddy, you're kind of in the way. Will you take damage if I... I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. I thought you'd teleport, okay? Yeah, don't be doing that again. Unfortunately, he's having to go on a timeout whilst I build the rest of these walls so that he doesn't die. And with that done, I'm now going to do an outer circle that will connect up all of the corners. That's what one of them's going to look like. So now to do the rest and make them as high as the wall. And if you ask me, these are looking pretty good. I think it's time I now sorted out this floor. And that is actually the reason as to why I need all of this cyan wool. Yep, along with oak planks and warped wart, there is going to be cyan wool that goes along the middle. And so you can kind of begin to get an idea of what it's going to look like. I just need a load more wool from you guys. All right, buddy, your timeout's over now. You can finally come out. Just don't be getting in the way anymore, okay? What did I just say? Okay, no, you know, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. You moved pretty quickly. Right in the middle, I'm making a bit of a spiral staircase, which will allow access to the next level of my base. And now all I can really do is gather up more wheat, breed more sheep, and gather up more wool. And this area up here is going to be split up into different slices of different farms. In between these rows of grass blocks, we're going to have some nice pathways. And then in between, a bunch of oak plank floors. And for each of these segments, I'm going to have different things growing. So in this one, I'm going to till the ground, place down a bucket of water inside this slab. Yeah, it's a waterlogged slab. And then I can plant a bunch of potatoes on top. This section's going to be filled with lilacs, which I can get more of by bone mealing them. A pillager captain. Now this could be very, very useful. I've put him in a boat, and then if you ever need more totems from a raid, I know where to go. This section is going to be made up of warped roots, just because they'll look nice decorationally, kind of like the lilies do too. This section is going to be carrots, that way I'll be able to see in the dark. And over here, I'll have a load of wheat. Over here, I'm going to have netherwort, and finally pumpkins in this section. You can kind of start to see how it's going to look. I think it's definitely coming together, isn't it? And now I'm going to extend this circular wall here upwards and build a nice little house at the top right here. And after that, I'll decorate the interior and give Buddy his own little home. So at the moment, yeah, he's kind of stranded outside, which nobody deserves, especially not my little dog. And as the sun sets, this build is now done. Well, the outside is anyway. I can also completely harvest up my pumpkin patch to finish placing down all of those. And I'll also harvest up all of this netherwort so that all of this can also be fully planted down. And now for the very final attraction, this house that you see before you on the top needs an interior. It's kind of got a bit of an interior, but it needs properly finishing. I'll add some furnaces along here, and I'll also craft some of this wool into carpet to go in front of it, and also in a few other spots as well. This right here can be a nice little bookcase section. Unfortunately, I don't actually have any books to go in it, but I will eventually. And I'll put these undecorated, decorated pots right here. Yeah, I could definitely get patterns eventually. I just need to find the sherds. I'll add a few more lanterns hanging up for decoration. And I'd say that is the main room done. I've got a couple of bedrooms here. One for me, one for Buddy. Both of them need decorating. So first of all, I shall start off by doing my room. There we go. Nice little place. Nothing too crazy. And for Buddy, I'll just make a nice little dog bed kind of thing. Yeah, I don't need to go over the top with his room. He's even got a side door as well. I mean, what more could he ask for? Well, I'll tell you what he can ask for. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to fly out here and... there we go. Speaking of Buddy, where is he? Is he just sat outside in the rain? Look, Buddy, you don't have to do this anymore, all right? You can come inside where it's nice and warm. Crazy little dog just sat out in the rain trying to make us all feel sorry for you. I don't know. Come on inside. And welcome, Buddy. Yes, this is your new home. That's it. Get all the water off. Get on your little bed. And since creepers are off the menu, I'll instead need a lot of obsidian. But since going to the end is also out of the question, I'm going to need a load of lava. And to get all of that, I'm going to use dripstone to make a lava farm. Come on, Buddy. It's time to go and die in a cave. I mean, find a load of dripstone. That is called foreshadowing, because sadly, Buddy will die in this episode. So there isn't really an easy method to find this cave. We just have to go underground and hope that we find it. It's also very annoying that I have no firework rockets, but at least that means Buddy can keep up with me this time. Whether that's a good thing remains to be seen. I really didn't think that I'd own an elytra and have to go and travel around in a boat. But hey, at least it means that my dog can stay with me, and he looks very happy about that as he nods. Aha! A shipwreck. These do have a chance to contain gunpowder, which would be handy right about now. Paper and iron and emeralds, not really what I want. Although there is 2 more right here, with nothing useful in this one, or this one as well. A desert pyramid. Now you wait here, Buddy, because I've seen way too many disasters of people bringing their dogs into these places, and it all going very, very wrong. And at the bottom, we have gunpowder. That's very, very good. More gunpowder. Even more. What about the book? Okay, I'm not too bothered about channeling. Okay. That is going to be so helpful, because combined with the paper that I have in this shulker box, I can make 1.5 stacks of rockets. Of course, I am eventually going to need way more, but at least it means I can explore the world quite a bit easier. And I'm also going to repair this pickaxe before it breaks too. This looks like a pretty decent sized cave to me, and hopefully it connects to some dripstone. No joy so far, but hey, diamonds and lava. Buddy, don't go near there. We don't want you having an accident and dying this episode, do we? Because that's definitely not going to happen. You'll survive the episode, won't you? I'm literally patching up any lava I see, just in case, because I know how stupid dogs can be in Minecraft. And dripstone. Okay, buddy, be careful. All right, there's a big drop. A big drop with diamonds at the bottom. Right, this is exactly what we need. I'm going to carefully go down. All right. Where did he go? Okay, you've made it. Now to get the good old diamonds, that's it. Yes, I am releasing a Diamonds Are for Peasants t-shirt because they're absolutely everywhere. Some there. And then we get to work collecting the dripstone. It has to be said, mining these roof ones with Buddy around is kind of dangerous. Especially when he stood directly beneath me like that. I didn't realize it was there. Don't feel bad, Buddy. Even Clown Pierce died from dripstone. So it really does happen to the best of us. Anyway, at this point, I think I've got enough. 13 stacks, which is surely all that I need. So I'm going to try and find my way out of here and then fly back home. It's great to be back. All my dripstone can go into here. And now for the rest of this lava farm, I'm going to need a lot of cauldrons and a lot of buckets. And what do you need to make loads and loads of them? Iron. And granted, I have a decent amount of it, but I'm not convinced I'll have enough. So in order to build a lava farm, we're going to need an iron farm. The only issue with that is I need hostile mobs to scare the villagers to spawn iron golems. And no hostile mobs spawn in this world. So yeah, it's time to try something else. You see, whilst no hostile mobs will spawn, that doesn't mean that I can't access some of them. Because drowns, evokers, and vindicators can all still spawn inside structures. So I'm going to try and find an ocean ruins with a bunch of drowns. Aha, there's at least 2 over there, which is perfect. And the safest way to transport them is probably if I can give them fire resistance. So first of all, I'm going to transport the villagers over there to this patch of land. Realistically, a boat is probably the easiest way to do that. All right, villager, I want you to go to that cauldron and... Buddy, what are you doing in the boat? Leave the poor villager alone. Mate, it's here. Your job site's right here. I see you wish to be awkward. Well, it will not end well for you. Or maybe it will. I mean, it looks like he knows where he's going. So I shall just go ahead and kidnap somebody else. And this is somebody that actually listens to me and goes where they're supposed to, too. That's 1 successfully at the hole. And also now 2. Why'd you insist on being in the boat with me? You know what? I've just got to fly home now. Then shear some sheep, craft beds, farm a load of crops, and let the villagers do their thing. Yeah, buddy, you should probably stop watching right about now. What on earth? Wait, is the child dying? Somebody should... My goodness gracious me. I don't use the term hero lightly, but I just saved your life, little fella. Now get in the boat and stay there. And in the meantime, I shall add the rest of the needed items for the iron farm. It's the very reliable but very effective design by ENX04. Super quick and easy to build, but boy, does it work well. Oh, it's happening again. Well, at least this time you're okay. Well, it's coming to night time. So come on, fellas, this is your big moment. Into here you go. And he is in the boat. Now to add a few beds. Tell Buddy to stop staring. Come on, boy. Just look the other way. And now that I have 5 villagers, I just need 1 more. I'll also add some lava right here. Refill the bucket. And build this entire setup a second time. And look at that. I accidentally built a wandering trader farm. Would be a real shame if somebody was to put some lava right about here, wouldn't it? I don't use the term hero lightly, but hey, you walk into my iron golem farm. What did you expect? Both of them are now set up. I can get these villagers down there, which means this farm is now in operation. And I've just got to wait for these guys to become adults. And whilst I wait, I'm going to go ahead and build a couple of chunk loaders. These guys are also adults, so I can drag you into the pit of doom. It's not really a pit of doom. It's actually a very stable career for these villagers. And added all of them successfully in the farm, which means thanks to the chunk loaders, I can leave it running in the background, getting me loads and loads of iron, whilst I go ahead and begin building the next farm. And it is done. It might not be the prettiest of looking farms, but it's functional, which is all that matters. And all I need to do is AFK in this little spot here where I'm very, very safe. And on average, every 2 to 3 days, a wandering trader should spawn. Then he'll walk to the bell, fall in the water, and head through the portal. I'm optimistic that it'll work as intended. And in the meantime, this has been getting me loads and loads of honey bottles, meaning I have the 4 honey blocks that I need. And so all I have to worry about now is getting the slime from the Wandering Trader. So I'll chill on this platform for a bit and see how many we get. And I think I've spent long enough here. I've been popping in and out of this portal. And as you can see, Wandering Traders have been coming through. I've been taking out the llamas as time's gone on. And I believe it was on this side that I spotted him. One of them does sell slime. There he is. We found him. So yes, you can see 4 emeralds for 1 slime ball. I could probably void trade with him, but by the time I've set that up, I'm worried that he will despawn or something stupid. So I'm going to buy them. We managed to get a grand total of 5. Amazing. And there is one also selling gunpowder. Let's go ahead and buy 8 of those. On this side, another one selling gunpowder. And that's about it. Yeah, 5 slime. It's going to be enough to make what I need for now. But I will need to make something a lot faster later in the video. And whilst I was at the Wandering Trader farm, this was working away, getting me loads and loads and loads of these honey balls. I mean, just look at them all. And on top of that, I've got loads of iron. I should turn all of this into blocks, just to save on a bit of space. But that should give me more than enough buckets for the lava farm. So I feel like progress is pretty good. I can craft these into honey blocks to restock the glass bottles. And now with the 5 sticky pistons sorted, it is time for me to build the obsidian converter. And after all that, there's a Wandering Trader down here. Hey, I know where your people are. Now, don't disappear on me with your milk. What do you got to it? Okay, well, you know what? We don't need people like you in this neighborhood. Or you guys either. All they do is just clog up the land for no reason. There isn't really much to explain here, but the reason we've got waterlogged stairs is because lava is going to be dispensed here, and then the waterlogged stairs will turn it to obsidian. And a sign here will make sure that nothing flows out. And the game basically detects when one piece of obsidian is broken, and then makes the other one to be an obsidian, so that you're just constantly mining, making it as efficient as possible. It's a nice little design by El Mango. I probably could have done it without sticky pistons, but it just makes it way, way easier. The reason for the honey blocks is to use those instead of slime. It was definitely a lot cheaper to use that. Top is there, so now the machine is, as you can see, well, somewhere into here, filling up with lava. I don't know where it's all going. Okay, it is going to dispensers. I think I just filled this one first. And one little finishing touch that's completely optional is if you use a mob head, which I have in my shulker box, thankfully, it just puts you in the exact right position to be mining away. If you're any further forward, you could touch that block there, which you don't want to do. And I think I'd also like to make this platform a bit bigger. At the moment, it is quite small, isn't it? And so the empty bucket's going to this chest and the obsidian into this one. The only missing thing now is a beacon, and that is because I'll need the haste 2 effect. My best bet is probably just to steal this beacon. That saves time, doesn't it? And resources too. There we go. I can safely say that this machine is completely loaded up with buckets. So I'll gather up loads more lava, and from there I can get busy converting it into obsidian. Now this gets me about 2,000, just less than 2,000 per hour. And as you can see, once I break the first one, it doesn't reappear until the second one gets broken. That means I'm just mining obsidian all the time at perfect efficiency. So I'll get busy converting as much as I can. As you can see, I've got loads of lava to go at. The obsidian is flowing in, so I can just focus on mining away. And I think now I've got enough obsidian. So I'll load up this shulker box. And we are now down to the final 2 farms. The one that's going to get me gunpowder and the one that's going to get me slime. And the gunpowder one is going to use gas, but in a way that you've never seen before. Because this will be a world border gas farm, which will make it significantly faster than usual. And on a side note, why does my bamboo refuse to grow high enough? They just all stop just before the observer. I've been trolled by many things. Players, my dog, but never by a plant. My goodness. Why have they all done this to me? Apparently it's too dark for it to grow that last little bit, so I need more lights. So just give me 1 second as I mine up more glowstone and properly light the farm up. And after doing that, as you can see, straight away, the farm is working. And this chest is filling up with bamboo. And now that that little side project is done, I can begin gathering up everything that I need for the project. And on a side note, I also now have a much easier way to get loads of string. And no, it's not by killing... I'm joking, I'm not going to do it. Instead, if I just fly over this Mesa mountain... why is there a cat? What is going on? Why are you guys up here? Were you trying to escape? Did you think it would work? After what I'm about to show you, it'd be pretty heartless if I did take out those cats. Because down there... I've found a spider spawner, complete with cobwebs too, so there's absolutely no reason for me to not just use this to get all the string that I need. Because in this next build, I would like to use scaffolding, and I'm also going to need dispensers. So first of all, let's completely box this up in darkness. Oh, spiders straight away. I'm poisoned. What a great day this is, because I can get string. And the poison does no damage. Look at it. Okay. Oh, it did half a heart. Oh no, I'm gonna lose my hardcore world after 8,000 days. I also can't believe I accidentally built this room off center. Just 1 second. This is gonna trigger everyone's OCD. So I'm gonna make it even more ugly. To trigger you guys. Excuse me, I'm trying to crack a joke here. As I was saying, I'm gonna make it even more ugly to trigger you all even more. You know, I was just like watching YouTube videos on my other monitor, and I didn't realize I was on half a heart there. I'm just chilling, watching videos, and taking these guys out. And I nearly just popped a totem. I reckon I can safely say that that is enough string. What, you guys can follow me down here? Whoa, he's so fast as well. That's actually really creepy. Get out of here. Yeah, I made a secret tunnel to get in and out, but apparently not secret enough. And now I can get busy putting together all the other remaining items for this build. I'm pretty close to having it all. I just need to grab a few extra building blocks for the ghasts to spawn on. And the other thing that I need is sticky pistons, which means I'll have to spend another 12 hours AFKing at this farm to get wandering trade. I'm just going to steal them from this farm. I'm not going through all of that again. And now, with all of these items, we can begin building the World Border Gas Farm, a hybrid of my own design, and also using some of ENX04's mechanics. And come on, buddy, you're coming to the Nether. Yeah, everyone wants to see how you... Okay, don't jump out the window! False alarm is okay. Although it won't be for long. Yeah, don't look at me like that. Here, have a pork chop. Alright, buddy. Through the portal you go. And welcome to the Nether. I believe this is his first time here. It really doesn't know what to make of it, does it? And we're actually a portal that is on the line for the world border in the overworld. So we've got to follow this until we get to a Soul Sand Valley. I know there was one near my portal, but it wasn't in the right place. So the search can continue. And for once, I'm not on my own. No, I've got a doggy with me. Which really does make a nice change. And look at that. We're here. This right here looks like a good spot for the center of the farm. From here, we're going to build up very, very high in the sky. And buddy, be warned, if you try follow me, you might die of fall damage. So maybe stay down there. Once up it, but oh my goodness, what did I say? Right. Be careful. Okay, we're very, very high up. If you fall, there's no afterlife, all right, doggy? It's the end of you. It's an absolute disaster waiting to happen, this. But anyway, for those of you that can relax, this is going to be the little collection system. Let's wind this up a bit. Maybe that'll make it a little bit safer, buddy. Now to build the portal that the ghasts are going to come through. All right, buddy. Don't worry about a thing. You sit down right there. And I'm going to head on through to do some portal linking. We're in a cave. Whoa, part of the portal actually is in the world border. How cool is that? Very, very cool indeed. But we're going to break it. And I would say harvest up all the obsidian, but I can't get to some of it, can I? Then I just need to dig my way. Oh my goodness, it's the X-ray glitch back. It always happens at the world border so much. It's so weird. So weird and so cool at the same time. Look at that little cave. Now to build up right here until I'm very, very high up in the sky. And my portal will be right by a monument too. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Now to build the overworld portal. And this bit's not too exciting. It's just basically a bunch of redstone to control 2 different portals. So I'll very quickly get busy building all of that. And that is now complete. I'm going to craft a bunch of flint and steel to fill this chest. And 39 items are going to go into this hopper just so it's a timing mechanism. I can put a redstone torch here and a redstone torch here. And finally, I can put a composter right here with a torch on it. Let's head through the portal. Thank goodness, my dog is still here and all okay. So I unsit you. Yeah, you deserve to be able to move around. Just don't move off there. I'm now going to add a bit of glass like this with slabs below and blocks like this. Now, these will keep me safe. You can fit underneath them, so don't be deceived. And now with this bit done, we can go back to the bottom. That's right, buddy. You're coming with me. Okay, he's safely teleported down. Thank goodness for that. And now the portal building can begin. No! Buddy, no, don't go back up there again after falling. How low is his tail? It can't get any lower. He must be on like 0 health. Oh my god. Right, stay. All right, you ain't coming up here while I'm building them. I really thought that could be the moment. I thought Buddy was going to die there. When I saw him falling, I didn't know what to do. Meanwhile, all of the portals have now been done. Well, for now they've been done. When I do the world border aspect of it, there's going to be plenty more. But in the meantime, I'm going to build all of the spawning platforms. And then new platforms are going to be built every 4 layers. Will this work? Ooh, that was kind of nice, wasn't it? Now do it back to back. Was it a fluke? Oh, it was not a fluke. Apparently, block clutching is now my speciality. And technically, that is the farm completely done. But it's not that impressive. Like, if I head all the way up here, ghasts will spawn, and the farm will work, getting me gas tiers and gunpowder, which I'm so glad to finally have more of, by the way. I can craft more rockets, and it's also a great little XP farm to repair my pickaxe. But it can be improved. I can improve it significantly with the world border. And in order to show you how, I've gone to the border in a super flat world. I'm going to build a portal right at the edge, and then make one that connects to it above the bedrock. Now, if I want to go beyond the border, I've got to head east. I can't because it's in the way, but in the nether, I can still head east. So if I build another portal here and head through, it'll still connect to this one. If I build another one right here, have a guess? It connects to the same one. And if I go really, really far in this direction, I could go hundreds of blocks backwards and build a portal, and it connects back to this one. So this is most effective if you're at the corner point of a world border. You can do so much more with it. Unfortunately, my world were not at the corner point, but if I keep building portals in this direction, because they can't connect to a portal outside the world border, they'll all connect to my farm. This is about as far wide as I can build it, otherwise it'll be outside of the mob spawning radius. And this is also better if you build it in a massive perimeter at the lowest point in the world, but it's still much faster than stacking the portals upwards because mobs spawn more lower in the world. That's all the extra portals done. The only thing that I do need to sort now is all the platforms. Now, I don't think I'll have enough netherrack to do every single one, but for now I shall build what I can and then head out to collect more. And yes, buddy, you're coming with me. Please don't die in the lava. All right, buddy, I hope you know. Where are you going? Don't just wander off. Hey, come back. I have no idea where he's going. But anyway, I'll leave him to it. And he's gone back through the portal. He obviously did not like this part of the nether. I'll let him off. I couldn't in good conscience force him to stay here and possibly die in the nether. Nobody, you're staying in the nether and possibly dying whether you like it or not. So yeah, that over there, it's lava. It's dangerous. Don't go near it. Stay where I'm mining and you'll be safe. All right, there's nothing wrong here. No lava at all. Does it stress you guys out, me bringing my dog to the nether? Because that's all I really want to do. Just put everyone on edge. Certainly making me a bit stressed out. That much I do know. Buddy, step back. Hey, you talk about listening to my instructions. I mean, I know he's been sat down for 8,000 days, but he's been in the world as long as me, and he is a survivor. Or is he? Time will tell. No! Get out of there! Get out of there! I saved his life! Oh my goodness, I thought it was all over for you. Oh my word. Buddy, it's okay. Stop panicking. Sit down. Stay still. It's only lava. Why have I brought you here? No, buddy, you're staying in the nether and possibly dying whether you like it or not. He is absolutely panicking. He will not stop running. He's okay. Calm down. Get out of here, you. You're ruining a serious moment. Buddy, it's all right. All right, I brought those for a reason. I thought I'd killed him. I really did. I thought, oh my goodness, that lava would not stop flowing. But don't worry, I was prepared with the fire resistance pots. That's all my blocks collected. And you know what, buddy? After that super stressful situation, I'm going to take you back home and let you go to bed for a bit. Yeah, I think you need it. And I'm going to completely finish building the world border gas farm. And it is done. It should now be getting me way more gas. And, okay, apparently I lied to you guys. I'm blind. I've got sunglasses on. So let me just take them all off. Now, oh, I can see. Oh, I missed the portal. There we go. And I better fill in these platforms too. There we go. Now the gas farm is done. Look at this. I've got some of them waiting for me. That's kind of creepy, isn't it? Who's creepier, me or the gas? I don't know. Both of us look pretty terrifying. And I can now take them out pretty easily. I've got my sunglasses back on. I'll expand this platform out a little bit as well, just to make sure it's completely safe. And yeah, this will solve all the gunpowder problems that I have. So the main thing that I'm going to use this for is the XP to repair all of my tools. So I shall get busy swiping away, and then we're building a slime farm without any slimes. And that is mission accomplished. Every single tool is repaired, my armor is all sorted, and I can fill up an entire sugar box worth of gunpowder. It's great to be home, sweet home. Within reason, I know I'm not my real home. We'll get there eventually. One of the things that this farm is going to require a lot of is glass. 4,400 pieces to be exact, so I'm going to get busy destroying all of this desert, and then I could smelt all of this, or I could take my newfound gunpowder reserves to make a bunch of TNT, and then I'll grab a few shulker boxes along with iron for pressure plates to get busy destroying this desert in return for a crazy amount of sand that can all be smelted. And I've just realized I can grab a load of lava and use that to fuel all the smelting. It's a foolproof plan. And it really makes me feel like all my farms have gone full circle. And whilst that's all smelting away, I also need 34 stacks of stone bricks. So with my nice fully repaired pickaxe, I can get busy mining. I need powered rails, and I've run out of gold in my ender chest, so I'm on a bit of a mining mission inside of a mesa biome. I'm also going to add shears to the honey farm so that I'll be able to get honeycomb, and I'm also going to expand it to be a little bit bigger. That is mission accomplished. If I sleep, it'll get rid of the rain so that the bees will come out. And in theory, the shears should mean that I then get some honeycomb. Yep, already we've got 3. And once I've got more, I'll be able to then craft more beehives and expand it. Because for the panda slime farm, I'm going to need over 200 honey blocks. If I keep it at the size that it was, that would take forever. With the extra honeycomb, I can make more beehives now, which can then be dotted around the farm. And after a bit of time, I've successfully filled up every single hive with 3 bees. As you can see, this means that the honey is flowing in much, much faster. And it won't be long till I have all 200 pieces. That should just about beat everything, other than the remaining honey blocks that I've got to wait for. And something that I'm also going to need a lot of for this farm is weak pandas. You see, every time a baby weak panda sneezes, there's a 1 in 700 chance that it drops a slime ball. So if I can get a ridiculous amount of baby weak pandas, I'll be able to build a slime farm. That's the premise behind it. And to really get the process started, I first need to get 2 weak pandas. I thought that was a panda. It turns out it's just a sheep. Or a heavily mutated panda. You just never know. But yeah, that's my goal right now. Find some pandas and then breed them until I get some weak ones. You'd think that'd be really easy with the size of this jungle, but apparently that is not the case. Finally, some pandas have been found. There's actually 3 of them. Are any of them weak? Sadly not. But they are all normal ones, so they could have the gene for it. Let's do a bit of breeding. And eventually, we might get a baby weak panda. I remember breeding millions of these when I was trying to get a brown panda. It's kind of going to be a little bit easier than that, but it's still going to require me to get plenty of bamboo and then get busy breeding. Something I actually forgot, if they're not near a bamboo shoot, they refuse to breed. Look at it, shaking your head. Well, let me sort that out. Now they're all a bit taller, and as you can see, they are properly breeding. And we got a weak panda. Oh, just like that. It just happened there. We'll have to wait for the breeding cooldown to end to get another one. But in the meantime, I can get busy building a portal. A portal that will connect it to the nether roof. And that is baby weak panda number 2. Sheep, do you mind? I need you out of this boat, I'm afraid. Then I can send the adult panda through and the baby one as well. This is very weird. He's having a meal on wheels. Look at it. Why is his head like that as well? What's the angle? Seriously, bro, that is not healthy. But anyway, I've now got to head 700 blocks in this direction. Finally, both of them are back. I can take them out of the boat carefully to not hurt them and trick them to going through the portal. And on this little platform, I've got them both safely into a boat. Next, I'm going to use this dirt to expand the platform. And then I can keep breeding weak baby panda. Okay, oh, sorry. I forgot you need bamboo to breed. All right. Oh, now look at you. Okay, well, at least they produce one. He's safely in the boat. And as I steadily breed more of them, I'm going to build the farm right here. And look who's only gone and spawned in. A wandering trade selling nothing useful. Of course you're selling nothing useful. I knew it was stupid of me to get my hopes up. But anyway, I shall drop off these materials. Grab my dog. Yeah, have you recovered from the lava incident? Look at him. He's raring to go. That's it. That's what we like to see. But oh, you want to go in my bedroom? Okay, there you go. You just don't know what you want, do you? You're not going in there because we're going breeding. Panda breeding. Right after I grab all this spare bamboo too. I can also use the bamboo to make a chest. How cool is that? Just like that, we've got a wood farm. I'll place down rafts for the baby weak pandas to go into. I'm kind of counting on you guys sniffing, dropping a slime ball because I need 7 sticky pistons to build this. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. I've just got to keep periodically checking. And now let us begin building the Great Panda Slime Farm. Now, a big component of this farm is that it's going to be fueled by bamboo. That's so I can keep breeding new baby pandas that will sneeze and give me slime balls. And so right here is the spot where I shall build a massive farm for that bamboo. Harvested by honey blocks. A slime ball! Finally! I've got the slime ball! Every time I come up here, I'm just hoping that the sneezing produces a slime ball because I need about 7 sticky pistons. And finally, I have the first one, which I need to place right here. I need another one there. It's just basically for this fly machine, and there'll be some more up there to make it move as well. And whilst I wait for them to keep sneezing, I can keep placing blocks. Another slime ball. Fantastic. Don't know why I'm getting so excited. I'm literally building a machine down there to farm them, but they're just so rare to get. And no panda. Whoa. Oh, no, another one. What are you guys doing? Yeah, maybe I should make this platform a little bit bigger. Although before that, let's get sticky piston number 2 down. Also just realized I forgot to bring you with me, buddy. I flew off and you couldn't teleport after me. Anyway, let's make this platform much bigger. That's it, buddy. You're in charge of guarding them. We definitely don't want any more casualties. And if you fall off here, by the way, buddy, you will also die. Apparently, buddy thinks he's a panda now. Get out of the raft. What do you think you're doing? Useless dog always in the way. Ah, and he's back in. You know what? I'll just leave him and focus on building this even more. And in order to get more bamboo to breed the pandas, I can just harvest all this bamboo. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't just build that bamboo farm earlier in the video. With all these babies here, if you listen, it's just non-stop sneezing. We've got another slime ball over here. As I said, every 700 sneezes is the slime, so we should be able to get all the ones that we need. And because the boats stop them from being able to roll, that makes them sneeze even faster. Kind of evil, isn't it? Me taking advantage of all these sick baby pandas. But here we have yet another slime ball. Allow me to make even more progress on this machine down here. I'm also now pretty sure that I have enough honey blocks to finish the farm. So that's another machine I don't have to worry about, which is good. And if you're wondering what this spiral is, this is where all the weak baby pandas are going to be. They're going to be in minecarts, sneezing away, and every time they do, the water will push it all the way down to this hopper right here and fill the chests. And by the time they get to the bottom, they'll be adults, so they'll flow into that lava and die. And then the minecart can go up this central spiral, and it'll be reused again. So don't worry, no baby pandas are harmed, but the adults are. But it's a small price to pay in order to build the panda slime farm. Oh no! So don't worry, no baby pandas are harmed. Well, that is very sad. Oh, but we got slime. You know what? Your sacrifice was not in vain. I should really make this platform bigger, shouldn't I? Anyway, yet another sticky piston can go right here. So when the top of this spiral is reached by the minecarts, they're then going to be broken by this cactus, and then they can go back into the dispenser under that rail. I shall also expand this platform a little bit more, because I still need even more pandas. And more slime balls too. What I'm creating right here is the giant baby panda collection system. Above me, adult pandas will be bred, and then the babies will be pushed along in this water all the way into this section where minecarts will pick them up and send them into the sneezing section. So yeah, all of that should work pretty well. And I do still need one more sticky piston. Don't see any slime balls at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and do a bit more breeding. It's very hard to get through all of it. Buddy, what are you doing in there? Get out of all of this. Completely forgot about him being in there, the crazy little dog. I'll leave those guys to keep sneezing and come back in a couple of minutes. And in the meantime, I can continue building this bit up. This right here is going to be the minecart track that the player's going to go on whilst they're AFK feeding the pandas. And at that station and this station right here, the player will get restocked with bamboo in their main hand. Otherwise, they'll run out and not be able to breed every single one of these. I've significantly expanded the platform again. And now I'm going to grab more bamboo to breed even more pandas, because I still need one more slime ball. And every single one of these slots needs filling with a weak panda. So hopefully I've got enough. Yeah, this is a lot of pandas. All soon to be imprisoned in my farm. Yeah, I really am the evil one here, aren't I? Anyway, let's continue building. And I'll be honest, I don't know where Buddy is. I know he's in here somewhere. There we go. Hey, you're probably going to die of entity cramming. Maybe that's how you die in this episode. Who knows? Who knows? I'm quickly building this wall just to make sure that there are no more casualties. I'm still waiting for the... Oh, no, I'm not waiting for it. The final slime ball. And right here goes the final piece of water. This middle bit is going to be covered in bamboo because otherwise the pandas won't be able to breed, as you've already seen earlier. If they're not close to planted bamboo, then it simply won't work. Getting the pandas in is probably the trickiest part of the assignment. But before worrying about that, I do need to craft 9 hopper minecarts, which is easy enough thanks to all the iron that I have. And when the machine is harvesting, this is basically how the bamboo gets collected, by the minecart hoppers. There's also going to be one right here to pick up any rogue slime balls from the baby pandas as they're being transported along this stream. This is the minecart that the player will be in when using the farm. And if I quickly push it along here, in theory, yes, this machine starts harvesting all of the bamboo. I mean, just look at it. There's loads and loads and loads, and these hopper minecarts will be picking it all up. They won't be picking it up if they're full. They'll be emptying like that. And all the bamboo that gets collected comes up here and goes into this hopper, where it then gets dispensed to the player so that it can be used to breed the pandas. The pandas will be there soon, I promise. And then all of the excess bamboo comes along here, flies off this waterfall, which is kind of cool, and goes into this system where it can get dispensed by the player. There's also a system there to dispense bamboo to the player when the minecart goes across there. So you just definitely don't run out of bamboo. That's basically the main thing, because this farm will just constantly keep replenishing it. And now we can begin operation fill up this machine with 84 pandas. Do you think we have that many here? I hope so. I'm going to need a load of rails to pull this off, and then I'll transport the pandas in minecarts. They get stuck on this block because of the trapdoor. I then break this. They fall down, and they are perfectly aligned. Also, my stuff does get flushed away, but I can quickly pick it up and send the next one into the system. And that's how I'm going to do it. Just repeat this over and over again, filling every single slot up with pandas. And with all of those in, I can now add them in the opposite direction. And at long last, this is the final panda to go into the machine. There we go. We just break this. Break the minecart, and then I just need to quickly mine up all the rails. My dog looks lonely. Hello. And at this point, there's nothing really more that I can do. I will make sure that these chests are completely full of minecarts, and we are ready to go. Honestly, buddy, I won't go down there. You'll end up in lava like all the pandas will, so I'd stay well away. Unless maybe that's how Buddy dies. No, just sit down. Because it is finally time for me to put this farm to use. So to begin with, I'm going to flick this lever, and what that will do is keep dispensing minecarts down there. And these are the minecarts that the pandas will go in, and they'll keep sneezing as their babies, and the lava will get them when they eventually grow up. This lever is also going to be flicked, and we can begin breeding. Okay, we just look at the pandas, we hold down right click, and we are going to be breeding all of them. Now this will restock me with bamboo, as you can see, refills my inventory, and then we continue breeding as we go around. Whoa, why is there a normal panda in there? Okay, I've just seen an imposter. And there's one in a minecart. I obviously, you know, moving 84 pandas, there can be 2 mistakes. But all in all, not too bad. So we come back to here, we've got extra bamboo, and then we won't move until that despawns in 5 minutes time, okay? Now, you can see, we've got baby pandas coming along, and all of them will be weak pandas as long as there's no mutations. Apart from that normal panda, which has messed everything up. So for some reason, you were never released. There you go. And I can't believe you're an imposter. I'm going to allow it. Are you a grumpy panda as well? Are you going to attack me? I don't know. I'm going to allow it because I can't be bothered to rebuild the entire train track just to put one of you guys in. Also, what are you rolling around for? You are determined to get past the world border. Well, look, you can't do it, okay? Unless you got an ender pearl, you're stuck. So, as you can see, baby pandas in here. Look at that. We've got a slime already. And I think it got stuck, actually. But as you can see, the minecarts get dispensed, and I don't know how that slime got stuck there, by the way, but the minecarts get dispensed, and then the pandas get picked up and are slowly going around all of this. Meanwhile, every time you go around the farm, the bamboo gets harvested, so that makes sure you've got plenty of that replenished. And if we do end up getting any slime balls, they'll show up in this chest, like that one. So we've got one so far, fantastic. And I better be in position in the minecart, ready for the next iteration, where I once again just hold right click, leading to many more baby pandas being spawned. So that's the premise of the farm. These babies are going to be in here for 20 minutes sneezing away. And so far, there's just one slime ball. There'll be plenty more by the time these get to the bottom. It gets you about 30 slime balls per hour, which doesn't sound like a lot. But considering there's not really any other way for me to farm them, and considering how crazy it is to build this farm, you need so many pandas, I'm pretty happy with 30. So I am going to keep using this farm and see how many we actually have in an hour's time. And that is 1 hour done. I'll turn off this part of the machine, but I still want the minecarts to keep collecting these guys up. And how are we looking? Have I improved? Yeah, this is kind of the evil part, by the way, guys. This is where the adult pandas don't make it, sadly. But like I said, no babies were harmed in the making of this video. And in the chest, I'm very optimistic having 3 double chests. We've got 37. Oh, that's actually more than what was expected. Very, very nice. It's also a bit of a bamboo farm from the dead pandas. That sounds evil, doesn't it? I'm very, very pleased with it. It's one of those farms that I never thought I'd have to build, but it's very, very cool. And I'll now be able to make farms with sticky pistons and slime blocks. But one question remains. At the start of the episode, I said something about Buddy. That is called foreshadowing, because sadly, Buddy will die in this episode. And yet here you are, still alive. Well, we can't let you get away with it, can we? We can't disappoint the viewers, Buddy. So, goodbye. This is the end. Sayonara, old friend. I'm just kidding. I took him on so many dangerous things. Somehow he still survived, and he'll be here for another episode. I have to say, this looks like a pretty good cave to me. So let's try and find some dungeons. Not a dungeon, but it is a diamond. But diamonds are for peasants. So never forget your roots, SB. But I suppose they're useful every now and again, so I'd better grab them whenever I see them. And that is spawner number 1 successfully found. Hello, fellas. Let me get rid of you. Disable it with some torches. And look at that. The other side disc. That's actually really, really rare. At least it's rare to find it in a dungeon anyway. And now I'm just going to build a way that makes it easy to get in and out. From there, I'll grab a few different resources and quickly and easily build the farm. That's the room completely dug out, the water added in, and this clever trick means I can make an upwards chute that will send the mobs upwards, where they'll then land right here, meaning I can defeat them in one hit. So I'm going to remove the torches from this and patiently wait at the bottom as they all head on through, fall down the hole, and get defeated. And so that is farm 1 done, leaving me with just 99 to go. And now I'm going to continue searching for another dungeon. And look at this, it's mission accomplished. So I'll do exactly the same thing again. And that is farm number 2 complete. And as for the spider spawner, well, I already know the location of one of them. So building a farm for string is also very, very easy. And with 3 out of 100 farms done, I'm now going to go ahead and build 10 different automatic crop farms. Here's all the items that I'm going to need, and I'll also grab all of the crops that I'm actually going to farm. Right here, we're going to have a wheat farm, which works thanks to waterlogged trapdoors. I'll just simply run a load of redstone along here, and add a lever at the end, so that when I flick this off, the water flows, harvesting almost all the crops. Just one moment. I need to make this entire thing 1 block shorter. And now it works perfectly as intended. And with 4 farms down, I can now build a farm for carrots, a farm for potatoes, and once I very quickly grab some of these, a farm for beetroot too. Next, I'm going to make a melon farm, which requires observers, pistons, and a wandering trader, which will sell me melon seeds. I've got 2, and now I've got 14, thank you, sir. Don't actually need that many, but it felt rude not to buy his produce. And then for this farm, we till the ground, plant a seed, and grow it to the max height. There's going to be bricks on the front, pistons either side, and an observer. I can then repeat this a couple more times. And if I also get some water bottles to turn these into mud blocks, it means that these hoppers will pick up anything that lands on the mud. And whenever a melon grows, it updates the stalk, pushing the pistons, and it harvests it all up. Now to do the exact same thing on this side, so they also have a pumpkin farm as well. And now I'll place a few blocks to build a cactus farm. And right here, we're gonna farm netherwort. Right here, I'll have the vine farm. And that's just in case I ever run out of vines in this jungle. You never know, it could happen. One forest fire and it'll all be gone, but don't you worry, we've got vines here. And directly opposite that, we're going to use observers and pistons, plus a bit of cleverly placed water to make a kelp farm, which harvests itself every time the kelp grows. And that's the last of the farms that I'm going to let peacefully grow on their own. For the rest of them, we're going to use bone meal. And to get lots of bone meal, we're going to make a bone meal farm. Makes sense, doesn't it? This is going to require 4 rails as well as composters. To build this, I need 8 hoppers all going into that chest, with 8 composters on top, 8 hoppers on that, some normal rails, powered rails, a redstone block, and finally, a moving hopper minecart. And then all the spare items that I get from these farms can go into the minecart hopper, and very, very quickly, they all get turned into compost that fills this chest. So that's great, but you know what is even better for converting to bone meal? It's moss. So next, we're gonna build a moss farm. Here I have every single item that I'm gonna need, except I need 3 sticky pistons, which thanks to the panda slime farm that I built last episode, I can easily craft. And I also need moss blocks, which would make a lot of sense. I'm literally building a moss farm. So the goal right now is to track down a lush cave. And I think digging is pretty much the only way I can do that. Wow, found diamonds. Well, if we can find diamonds, I'm sure we can find moss. I've come into a mine shaft, which connects to an amethyst geode. And I'm pretty sure this is clay from a lush cave, right? Surely. Yes, it is. Fantastic. So that means we've now also got moss. And after adding a bit more redstone and storage, as well as a bit of moss, the farm is done. I'll just have to add a bit of bone meal into the farm to get it started. And just look at it go. And as you can see, it automatically replenishes its own bone meal. And it also gets me all this moss at the same time. So yeah, it's a pretty self-sustaining farm. And if I want more bone meal, well, I can just get it in here and it'll fill up the chest. And with that out of the way, I can now begin all the animal farms. But once I've got over 24 of these, entity crabbing will cause the adults to die, and the meat will go into the chest. And next door to this, I'm going to build another farm, which requires hoppers, mud, and also a fully grown cow. And if I couple that with a little bit of redstone, as well as some buckets, we get a working milk farm. How cool is this? I can get all of its milk. Although I didn't really think about the fact that I didn't make a big enough storage. So I'll just extend it a little bit more. And now to go next to the cow farm, I want to build a mushroom farm, but that might be a little trickier, because I'll have to spend a bit of time flying around to find a mushroom island. Mission accomplished, it's up ahead. And now I just need to make a nether portal and go above the bedrock so that when I drag a few of these through the portal, I can take them home much quicker and much easier. With both of them in there, I've also successfully got a mushroom farm. And then right next to that, I've also got a farm for mushroom stew. You know, I am seriously starting to wonder how many times I'm actually going to say farm in this video. So feel free to count it if you'd like to. I've now successfully also built a pig farm, a llama farm, a rabbit farm, although this one does feel a little bit evil. I've also built a sheep farm, a wool farm, a cooked chicken farm, an egg farm, a frog farm, a goat farm, a camel farm, and a goat horn farm, which does get you a lot of them very, very fast. And that is every single one of the animal farms that I need to build. I'm 30% of the way there. And next I need to build an amethyst farm, just because it'll come in handy for some of the future farms that I need to build. I found a few diamonds, a flooded cave that's attached to a geode. Perfect. My plan for this is to make the design very, very simple. And it's not going to harvest every single one. I've got a great amethyst farm back at home. That's quite a few pistons added around. As I said, I'm not going to do it for all of them. I'm going to keep it very simple and use water for the collection system. And I'll connect every single piston with redstone. Time to give it a quick test run. And it seems to work perfectly. And this simple hopper clock system will make all of these pistons activate every 3 hours. So yes, this one was a little bit more complex, but it is another one checked off the list. Next, I'm going to build a mud farm. It's such a useful block, and I've already used it loads already. So I'll grab all the needed materials and get to work building it. In order to make the mud, I'm going to need a load of dirt. And if I also craft a diamond shovel, then the farm will be in full flow. It basically just works by placing and breaking dirt really, really fast. And with the striders sorted, I'm now going to get back to something that's kind of more like a crop, because I want to build a mushroom farm. All the items that I'm going to need are pretty much here, but I will also need some amethyst shards to make tinted glass, a giant spruce tree so that I can get podzol, and finally brown mushrooms. Next I make a nice and simple little collection system with podzol on top and glass next to it. And the idea of this glass is just to make it so that it is dark enough for the mushrooms to grow. I'll also have an observer right here that will detect when a mushroom grows here, and yeah, it'll do something like that. For a second then it was an SP737 farm, not a mushroom farm. And because it's podzol, you can plant the mushrooms at any light level. We can cover it all up. And every now and again, one of those two mushrooms will spread to that block and instantly get harvested thanks to the piston, and from there, end up in this chest. And we can use the mushrooms that we get from that to build a nice little mushroom block farm. And this works by planting down all your mushrooms and then flicking this lever. They'll all grow, and from there you can harvest up the mushroom blocks. And with yet another farm down, the next one on the list is going to be a sniffer farm. But in order to build that, I'm obviously going to need sniffers. And to get sniffers, I'm going to need to find some sniffer eggs. Now, I do have some feathers here, which can be combined with copper to make some brushes. And then all that's left for me to do is fly out over the ocean to track down warm ocean ruins. It looks like we've got one down there. All I have to do now is get rid of the drowns that guard it and brush away at the suspicious sand. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the sniffer egg. If you're wondering why I'm still getting advancements for them even though I've got them before, it's because downgrading your world does break all sorts of stuff like that. But that is great news. It was the last bit of suspicious sand that I actually searched here. And now I can put this dolphin on a lead and we can go swimming extremely, extremely fast. And find yet another ocean ruins too. Alrighty, let's get searching. Or should I actually say, let's get excavating. Yeah, I feel like a proper archaeologist when I'm busy with my brush. And that is sniffer egg number 2 as well. Perfect. That means I can get out of here. So this right here is the platform where the sniffers are going to be searching for the seeds. And whilst I'm here, I'm also going to grab well, we've got a lot of moss in here. I'm just going to grab a couple of moss blocks though. And then I can place down my sniffer eggs. And in time, I will have some hatched sniffers. Next along here, I need to create infinite water sources and then place trapdoors. These slabs will prevent the sniffers from escaping. And this right here is the redstone that will open and close the trapdoors, and it's the water that will push the seeds into the hopper. And my sniffer eggs are cracking. Amazing. I am also going to temporarily block this off for now, because I do plan to breed these 2 sniffers into about 6 or 7 of them. And connected to this sniffer seed farm, I'm going to have a torchflower and pitcher pod plant farm, so that seeds from this can go into it if I want to. But to get that, I'm going to need to hire a villager. Remember, all villagers used in SP737's farms are willing volunteers and not trapped against their will. Hello, good sir. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? A beautiful day to take a raft and just go for a nice little ride. Look at him. He's even stood up on it. I'm sat down. He's stood up. Very, very cool indeed. You can stay right there, and I'll get busy building the farm so that it is ready for him. So the villager's going to be stood here, and he's going to be constantly planting the seeds that he receives. And these 2 dispensers will be filled with bone meal. We're going to have a couple of observers that will be powering them. And that's pretty much it. I've just got to try and get the villager inside. Also, we have baby sniffers, which is great progress. But yeah, I do still need them to grow up. And where did I leave the villager? Why did I put him all the way over there? Anyway, I'm going to be very sneaky and place down beds. So he thinks, oh, I'm just going to go and get a good night's rest. Well, mate, I'm sorry, but you're not. You're actually going to be up all night farming seeds. Yes, this is going to be it for the rest of your life. You see the fate of all of these creatures. The battery chickens, the sheep with no space to run. Yes, this is you. You know what? I really am the villain in this world, aren't I? I am evil. But hey, at least you'll be able to enjoy a somewhat fulfilling job. No, don't escape. Okay, I thought he got away there. Oh, he did get away. As I was saying, you are going to enjoy this fulfilling job, whether you like it or not. That small... Whoa, you just broke the dirt. Suppose I can fix it. Now let's put some glass above his head. But yeah, it's very fulfilling work. All I need now is these sniffers to grow up. And then once they start producing seeds, this little fella will be able to grow them. And I've currently got it set up so that any seeds will go through here and land at the farmer. But if I flick this lever upwards, any items that then go into the water stream will flow down here and end up in the chest. The next farm I'm going to build is a void trading wandering trader. I mentioned this farm a while ago, and a lot of people were like, SB, how can you do that? You can't go to the end. How can you void trade? Well, don't worry. I'm about to show you. Right here is all the items that I'm going to need, but I also needed wandering traders, so I spent quite a bit of time AFK at the wandering trader farm I built last episode. And now we can see what we've got. I don't know why they've all gone to this side and none there, but anyway, we've got a couple of them, which is great. Any decent trades? I mean, I'd say no from you, and I guess ice and moss is okay. So I can use a boat to extract him out. Wait. What are you doing here, llama? You are not welcome. To be honest, none of the llamas are welcome. Let's just get rid of them all. And then I can bring him over here and start placing down the necessary rails. I'm going to have a block right here, and this lever is going to power all of them except the end one. Now I'll just carefully move you out of the way and place down 50 rails in total. Then I just make this completely symmetrical on this side, add a bunch of levers and buttons, and that's it. The farm is done. I'll just finally need a few mine carts, which will be placed here, here, and also here. Now to drag you all the way across this way and safely... Where do you think you're going? Oi. Well, don't just walk over my boat. As I was saying, safely put him into a minecart. Now to do exactly the same with this fella here. There we go. From there, I need to change my render distance to be 2. Then I can take my emeralds and face the trader. Here's his trades. What we'll do is we press this, hold right click, and I'm not going to trade with him until he goes out of render distance. Once he's stopped, I'll know that'll be the case, and I can buy, let's buy all of his moss. We buy all of that. It's now got an X right next to it. From there, I can turn and trade with this fella. And what should we go for? Should we go for some... Let's go for blue ice. That's kind of rare, isn't it? So we stop moving. We trade for all his blue ice. We turn to this guy, and all of his trades have restocked. So I can buy even more moss from him, and I can turn to this guy, and I can buy even more blue ice once we stop moving. And this is just basically the process that you can just repeat over and over again. For farm 88, I'm going to build a gold farm. How on earth have you guys got out? I have no idea, but more importantly, I will need a turtle egg for this, as well as a bunch of other items, which I'll happily go and grab. Oh, and it's literally started raining. This is a perfect opportunity. A perfect opportunity to see the powdered snow farm in action. So I'll jump in here and see how much powdered snow we can get. I've been here for about a day. The snow has stopped. And as you can see, The cauldrons are filling up. I don't know if any have filled up all the way to the top. No, probably needs a second dusting of snow, but it shows that the farm is working, and give it a bit longer and we'll have plenty of powdered snow. But anyway, that's enough of that. Now, I'm going to get all the items for the gold farm. This right here is everything. Next, I'm going to carve out a pretty big room right here. A portal's going to go in the middle with a little spot that I will eventually place a turtle egg. Now to dig another room. That is not good at all. That's really, really bad. You know when you just mine away a million miles away thinking everything's going to be all right? Now every time I want to go in the ender chest, I'm going to use up an ender chest. That's going to be annoying, isn't it? And I don't even have an easy way to get Silk Touch again, because the villager that sells it is back at home. I don't know. If you ask me, I'm an idiot. Anyway, I'll just continue mining this, and hopefully this gold farm will be worth the trouble of losing an actual pickaxe. Guys, I think I've made a mistake. What are all of you guys doing here? Yeah, I went through the portal too soon, so then they were all going through the portal, and now we're in Pigman Jungle. I really am an idiot. Anyway, let's destroy this portal. Build up really, really high, and then I can finish the rest of the farm. Alrighty, the pigmen have despawned. The farm is finished, and I can now get loads and loads of gold and loads of XP to repair stuff like my shovel. And you're probably wondering, what do I intend to use all of this gold on? Well, a bartering farm, of course. And just so you know, these guys are not prisoners. They're economy men, all right? Well, pigs, I suppose, but they're willing people supporting the economy. I simply push this button, and they will keep bartering, and the gold will keep replenishing as long as the dispenser is full. Because I can't get to the end, I'm going to instead build an Enderman farm in a warped forest. It's pretty much like an Enderman farm you get in the end, but obviously this one is in the nether. And it works decently well too. In this basalt delta, I'm building a magma cube farm, and the way this one works is magma cubes spawn and try to go for the iron golem, but they just freeze in the snow. And then all the babies try to jump to the middle and fall down the powdered snow, where they freeze and drop their magma cream. I agree it's not perfect, but if I can look in this chest, as you can see, we are getting magma cream from it, which is good news. And I can make another farm really, really quickly using that, because if I steal one of these frogs from down here, he will eat all the baby magma cubes, meaning I've now just built a frog-like farm, but let's see it in action. So yeah, it just eats any babies that fall into the middle hole. And there you have it. Ochre Froglight. Absolutely fantastic. We're getting very close now. Farm number 98 is going to be a villager farm. Yep. That means it involves you guys. This is their little farming quarters. In there you go, good sir. All 4 of them are in. The crops are down and the beds are placed. The farm looks to be working perfectly. The villagers are breeding and the babies are stupid enough to fall for the trap. Farm number 99 is going to be a villager trading hall. In theory, that means I'll finally be able to get a Silk Touch pickaxe back. Although I will have to wait for these fellas to grow up before I can start filling it. So whilst I wait for that, at the same time, I'm going to build farm number 100, which is a raid farm. However, this raid farm is unlike any other raid farm that I've ever built before. And I feel like it's quite a cool little nifty design as well. Look at this. We've got a couple of adult villagers, and you are coming with me, and into the farm you shall go. Add a bit of lava there, and that's it. The raid farm is complete. But before I use it and get it going fully, I'd like to push this fella into the minecart and add him in to the trading hall. All right, mate, this is the point where you give me Silk Touch. Thank you very much indeed. And now I just need to get efficiency, unbreaking, and mending. And buying that means I've got all of them. So it's very, very nice to have a Silk Touch pickaxe back. And if I can get one more gold ingot, that is that back to Netherite. A sniffer has somehow got to the top of this scaffolding. I've absolutely no idea how. My little villager trading hall is also now complete, which means for farm 100, I just have to make sure it actually works. If it doesn't, I'll probably end up dying down here to Vexes or something stupid. I've never tested it. I've not really any idea what to expect, but the emeralds will be useful. Let's take this guy out, and then I will land at my little raid farm. Well, a raid is starting. That's a good sign already. I'm going to go here, and the mobs are going to get into the boat, and I'm going to take them out with an axe. Well, I can hear them. I also need to make sure I don't crouch, otherwise it'll break. Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. It's working. And I could just do that. And sometimes they'll take themselves out if I don't hit them in time. What a great little farm this is. Yeah, it's not the fastest, but the new update is going to break a load of raid farms anyway. And next episode, I am going to return home. I promise you guys. I'm also getting more totems from this, which is good, because I only had one left anyway. I've done it. I've done the raid. We are victorious. And that means all 100 farms are complete. And as I said, next episode, we are going to go home. The fact that I now have so many resources, thanks to all of these farms, is going to really help in doing what I need to do to get there. Although, buddy, I said there was going to be one last farm involving you, a little bonus one if you like. I call it the Dog Destroyer 6000, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we will farm Buddy himself. Yes, he goes along the water and then into the lava. Goodbye, old friend. Oh my goodness, you escaped. No, we can save him. I'll give you food. Take it all. This wasn't meant to happen. It was meant to be a prank. Buddy, stay alive. Stay with me. If he survived. No way. Alright, well, yeah, that wasn't how it was supposed to happen. It was meant to be a prank and it was going to land in the water, but he teleported before it. You're a stupid dog. I can use my blaze farm to get the blaze rods, my enderman farm to get the ender pearls, and then I'll craft 64 eyes of ender, which means we can now track down the stronghold. Oh, wait. On Java Edition, there's only 128 strongholds in a Minecraft world, and they stop generating after 24,000 blocks. That means I'd have to travel 29,976,000 blocks to get to one, which would take pretty much the same time that it would take me to get back to spawn. So please, stop commenting this idea. The actual way to get home is much more complicated, because we're going to need thousands of boats, melons, chunk loaders, a fancy fishing rod, and a pig. Yeah, it was a pig that got me into this mess, and it'll be a pig that gets me out of it. Now, straight off the bat, I need a load of redstone components. That includes observers, hoppers, repeaters, pistons, droppers, and so much more. For all of that, I'm going to need over 10 stacks of redstone. So how about we make a bit of a challenge out of this? I'm going to put a 1-hour timer on screen, and I've got to try and get 10 stacks of redstone before the time runs out. And with the time now ticking, my first protocol is to find a cave. Hopefully this goes down. Oh, yes, it does. I'm going to grab my fortune pickaxe and get busy mining. Already, we've got 6 redstone. What a great start. Although this cave is a dead end. Maybe not such a great start after all. If I have to, I will dig down. But it does kind of keep opening up. And there's little deposits here and there. Just annoying because in a lush cave, I feel like a lot of the ores get hidden by the moss, which definitely makes it trickier. But already I have managed to get 1 stack. And there's still a decent amount of redstone knocking about. This challenge looks like it's going to be quite easy, doesn't it? Oh, wait. You thought I meant 10 stacks of redstone dust in an hour? Oh, no. I mean 10 stacks of redstone blocks. We've only got 25 so far. And I'm pretty sure I've completely explored this entire cave. And popped it. What are you doing, SB737? Fly carefully. I'll never get home if I do stuff like that, will I? Let me grab another totem. We've only got 4 left now. And let me be a little bit more careful when flying around. I have a stack and 14 of redstone blocks. 10 stacks an hour is going to be a real challenge. It might be doable, but I'm going to have to find a really big cave that is absolutely full of redstone. Also, the t-shirts are on sp737.store, by the way. Link is at the top of the description. And now I have just 45 minutes left to get another 8.5 stacks of redstone blocks. Over 2 stacks. Okay, things are moving well, and there's just under 40 minutes to go. It's gonna be amazing if I actually somehow pull this off. Because I almost feel like I've left myself with too much to do. Any redstone into... Oh, well, that's a great little boost. Get out of here, you. I'm going to waste time taking out the spiders. And my only worry is I am having to spend quite a lot of time strip mining to find new caves. Which is okay when you find caves that are this big. Although when it comes to redstone... I suppose there is a little bit. Another spawner? They're not normally this easy to find with more redstone. Well, that's a great thing. A third one? I tell you what, you can never find these when you want them, can you? But as soon as you're not bothered, they're everywhere. And right next to them is the redstone. Much more excited about this. I now have less than 30 minutes left, and I'm at 3.5 stacks. It's not looking good, but I might be able to pull it back. If I can find one good cave, I reckon I can. Instead, I just keep finding diamonds everywhere. Just over 20 minutes remain, and I'm at 4 stacks. And I'm also having to do a massive strip mine. A massive strip mine which has led to a pretty good cave, complete with redstone. This is it, guys. This is the cave that I've been dreaming of. It's huge. There's redstone. Don't tell me it's going to spawn a warden or something stupid, because that is not a problem that I want to have to deal with. I've spotted a shrieker. Let's just get rid of it. Then I don't have to worry when I go to this redstone. It's another big cave. I tell you what, there is a chance that we do this. I know my chances are slim, but there is some serious redstone around here. And if I was looking for diamonds, it would be amazing. I'm not really bothering with the diamonds too much, but they are everywhere too. Now down to less than 5 minutes left. And let's be honest, I have got a lot of redstone, and I've just come across another great cave. But it would seem that it is sad to say that 10 stacks of redstone blocks was maybe just a little bit too steep. Yep, we're into the final minute. I don't think I'll find any more, so I'll craft up what I've got. And we ended up with 6 stacks and 19 blocks. Not too bad. You know what? That is a valiant effort in just an hour's mining. Plus, we got a stack and a half of diamonds, which is a bonus. I reckon if I hadn't spent some of the time plugging this t-shirt, we might have done it. No, we wouldn't have done it anyway. Oh, hey, more redstone. But yeah, I used up valuable minutes plugging the t-shirt, so you should definitely go and check it out. And with all the redstone now out of the way, and my haircut too, I can now focus on making every single one of the needed redstone items. Although for all of it, I'm going to need another 21 slime balls. And due to the mob switch in my world, slimes won't spawn, which means we're going to need to get them from weak baby pandas sneezing. Yep, that's how we're going to do it. Feels kind of evil, but hey, it does get results. And after a couple of days of using this, I've got more than enough. I'll be so glad when I can just use a normal slime farm again to get all of those. And when I upgrade my world to 1.21, which I will do in this video, I just have some things to do at my base before I'm ready to update. But when I do that, I can use a new oozing potion effect to get absolutely loads of slime. Now, as mentioned earlier, to get home, I am going to need melons. If only last episode I'd built 100 farms and had a melon farm. Oh, wait! I've got one right here. I've also got all these phantoms attacking me, 4 of them. Well, you know what? It's time to turn the tables, because if I go into here, they will then get trapped as they try to attack me. Yeah, that's right. You should have stayed at home. Anyways, 30 melons in total that I need, so I've got more than enough. You know what else I need to get back home? Sea pickles. If only I'd got a sea pickle for... Oh, wait. I've got one of them too. Getting me loads and loads of sea pickles that I can use for the build. In other news, I will also need about 10 stacks of sand, which I can get fairly easily by destroying this whole desert. And how am I going to smelt all of this, you may be wondering? Well, it's a good thing that last episode, I also built this fancy little super smelter. I'm going to use deep slate bricks for the building blocks, as well as some quartz. And with enough glass now smelted, all I'm missing is 4 stacks of rails. And I also need a few more powered ones, but I've only got 2 gold. So I reckon the quickest way for me to get more is not to go mining, not to go to a bastion, but instead head up here to grab it from my gold farm. And with that, I now have all the needed materials to build the actual machine that will get me home. To actually use it, I will still need thousands of boats, a fancy fishing rod, and a pig. But I reckon it'll be good to at least get a few blocks down and make a start on the machine that will get me home. These chests are going to be where all of the boats are going to be stored, and the boats are what will give the pig its momentum. I'll explain it properly when the machine is in use. This right here is where the boats are going to be dispensed, which is why the trapdoor must be waterlogged. This redstone mainly affects the timings. It'll detect when the pig is over here and then dispense the boats accordingly. Plus, this hopper clock right here will decide how long the pig will gain momentum for. I know it might not properly make sense right now, but I will explain it when the machine is in action, and you'll fully understand it, I promise. And in the meantime, I need to add a long redstone line that goes 16 chunks in this direction. This block is going to be where the pig will be inside a minecart. As you can see, it is just into lazy chunks. And if you push a pig that's in a minecart whilst it's in lazy chunks, you can get the pig back over there and keep the minecart in lazy chunks. And then that is why we're able to use the pig to travel millions and millions of blocks. This is where the melons come in, because they will not be moved by the slime blocks. And this part of the machine is also done. The top redstone line will make this flying machine push the pig over there, and the bottom line of redstone will push the remaining minecart into the fire, which is what will release the pig and make it fly so far. And when using this machine, for the client to see the pig that's here, you need to unload the chunks and come back again. So whilst the player isn't loading the chunks, the game will be using chunk loaders. But to achieve that, I'm going to build a massive minecart track that takes me about 20 chunks in that direction. Distance wise, I'm happy with this. I just hope I've got enough rails, but I'm not convinced I have. Nope, not quite. I am unfortunately going to have to fly back home to craft quite a few more. Although I do have 18 in a chest. That's useful. And if I combine some more with a bunch of sticks, I think a stack and 18's got to be enough. Although now I'm looking ahead, I'm thinking maybe I misjudged this. And there we go. The machine is built. I'm going to push a hopper minecart up against this anvil. And then using a piston, I can push a block into it, add back the water. And now, when the lava in this dispenser breaks all the boats, the hopper minecart will pick them all up, which will refill the entire system. A couple of extra minecarts are also needed, and I've added 4 stacks and 33 items into this hopper, which determines how long the pig will gain momentum for. So whilst the machine is now done, there's still quite a few things I need to get. Let's begin with all of those boats. Right here, I do have a little manual tree farm, which it works okay. I mine away, plant a new sapling, and I can just keep getting wood over and over again. However, for me to use this and get all of the boats, it would take quite a long time. And then for the second option, there's my azalea leaves farm. This works by me sitting here and planting down azalea trees, and then I can gather up all of the leaves using shears. I do get logs as the TNT blows up the tree, but because I have to wait for the player to mine up leaves in between, I still don't get that many logs. Which means I think in order to get back home, I should build a brand new tree farm. One that is extremely quick and that will allow me to completely fill up the system with boats. And thanks to all of these farms, plus all of these redstone blocks that I got, I can get almost every single needed item to build it. But I am going to need 73 sticky pistons. That means I need 73 slime balls. So I'm going to have to do a lot of breeding. And these baby pandas are going to have to do a lot of sneezing. I've now finished taking advantage of all the sickly children. Don't take that out of context. And I have all the slime balls I need. And those were definitely the hardest of the things to get. Everything else can either be grabbed from somewhere in this chest room, out of the little super smelter, or I can craft them. That is everything except for one item, because I'll also need 78 spruce logs. Something I can pretty easily get from this tree. If you didn't know, this tree was part of my podzol and dirt farm, as I can place down loads of moss, and then it will get converted into podzol or dirt for me. Most importantly, it has got me the 78 logs that I need. So let's build the final farm that I need at the world border. And on a side note, why are there sniffers everywhere? How have they escaped? They're supposed to be trapped in here, getting me loads of different seeds. I guess I'll have to make these walls a bit higher or something. Right here is the spot that it's going to be built. And this water will push the items all the way to here. This hole here is going to be the storage system. I'm going to have glass blocks like that so that water can push... what am I doing? Going all over the place with these electro... Anyway, yes, water will push the items along. Right here we have a dispenser onto the dirt block, and this is what's going to grow the trees. This system is going to have the bone meal in it. And this lever is the on-off switch. So as you can see, these are now going crazy at these dispensers and droppers. I turn it off and they stop. With that out of the way, I can make this wall a bit taller. And when I say a bit taller, I mean quite a lot taller, actually. All of this water is going to protect the wall from explosions. This is where the redstone gets a little bit more complicated as it collects all the items and is eventually going to destroy the leaves and move the logs through here. You can probably see why I now needed so many of these sticky pistons, and I'm just going to keep doing this all the way up for 6 in total. And what you see over there is going to be repeated on this side too. They're going to be powered by these rows of redstone dust. Using these slabs is how I'm going to power all those pistons, and to power these ones, we're going to use a combination of glass and top slabs. All of this redstone that you see at the top here is for the TNT duping machine that will just drop it down into that water, and then right there where it will break the logs that go into the chests. And after I add these 2 pieces of redstone dust, the tree farm is ready. You can grow oak saplings, birch saplings, and spruce ones. As you can imagine, bone meal is very, very important for it, and this farm has plenty in there. And do you remember that little tree farm that I was showing you earlier? Well, it has a bunch of saplings in the chest, so I'll just use those. All of the bone meal goes into this storage right here, and flicking this lever will turn the farm on. As you can see up there, it is producing TNT, which drops and blows up. And then I go through this door, stand in this corner, and I hold right click here. It grows the trees, pushes them out. And notice how it destroys all the leaves for me instantly as well. It's very, very good indeed, and that's why you could just grow another one. Because it strips spruce logs, the trees can still grow. And as the leaves above me get destroyed, I get replenished with new saplings. As you can see, I've already got loads of logs very, very quickly. So I'm going to grab a full stack of saplings so that I definitely don't run out. It kind of just makes it look like Herobrine's been in this forest, doesn't it? And then I can get all of the wood that I could possibly need from this farm. The farm was running well, but it would seem I have run out of bone meal. So I'll switch it off. And after not running it for very long, I think we might have enough. Okay, I don't know why we've got a strip spruce log in there. But yes, I think that should be enough for at least most of the boats that I need. But I suppose I won't know until I've crafted them all and put them into these chests. This is also going to be really annoying inventory-wise because I'm just not going to have the space for it. And not only have I got to make sure that every single chest is filled, but all these hoppers need to have boats as well as these droppers too. And so that is every single one of the chests filled up. And for this to get me where I need to be, the amount of boats is kind of a precise amount. If I have one boat too many, it could send me like 100,000 blocks too far, which I don't want. So I'm adding 7 extra boats to these hoppers, All the hoppers underneath have also been filled, well as the droppers. So alongside a very precise amount of items in this hopper clock, I have everything I need up here to go the correct distance back home. But we're still not ready. We're going to need 2 chunk loaders to make it work. And we're also going to need the fishing rod. Once I've got those, I'll also need some pigs up there. I already have the saddle, so that's at least something I've got. And my idea to get a really good fishing rod is to actually go fishing. You see, last episode, I built this fish farm. The way it works is you close up this gate, you walk as far forward as you can, and then you use your fishing rod. From there, you hold right click, and then you'll automatically reel in anything you catch. We literally just then got lure 2. All right, fantastic. We're switching out to that already. I'll be honest, guys, I've been here for some time. I have managed to get a lot of loot, including a mending fishing rod, which I started using. It started to get its durability back. But I don't really want to spend too much more time there, so I'm going to offload all of the fish-related stuff that I caught. Unbreaking 3 and mending is good enough. Technically, you could do this with a normal fishing rod, but since it's such a fancy big thing that I'm doing going home, I wanted a cool enchanted one. Yeah, did I go about it the fastest way? Maybe not, but it was certainly an easy way to get one. I also had some skulk sensors in my ender chest, so I'm going to go like this. Mine them all up, which means I've got a full durability fishing rod. And so now, I need to build 2 more chunk loaders so that the farm will properly work. And I need to get some pigs. Because that's be a pig right here. I feel like getting the pigs might be tricky, although there is at least one there. Come on, mate. Surely you've got a friend. Where is he? Yes, he has. Fantastic. Right, if I can just get both of you into there, then that will be fantastic. Leads will be useful. I'd have to update to 1.21 to put them in boats and then lead the boats up there. That would probably be easier, but I've got another way of doing it. I'll just leave you right here for a second, Cedric, so that I can grab some blocks to build a massive staircase. Next, I'm going to grab little Cedric, and I would carefully lure him upwards, but he's so stupid. Come on. Walk around and up the stairs. Spend 5 minutes building it. At least use it, little fella. Right here you can go. And I would give you a name, little fella, but we ran out of name tags, so you're just pig, okay? It's not because I don't love you as much. I just ran out of name tags. In you go as well. Let's break all of this, and you guys can be bred. There we go. Get me a baby. And this system will allow me to breed more of them and also get one in a minecart. Once I've got one, it's going back and forth. We can flick this lever, it'll go down there, and I can then push him into... Okay, I broke it. I'm sorry, Cedric. Oh, and he's gone down. No! Don't die! Do something, Espit! He's gonna die, isn't he? I am so sorry. But at least Cedric's still alive. Here, little baby. Have a load of carrots. And then I can grab him. And this time, I'll make sure he doesn't die. And let's make sure that pig sacrifice was not forgotten and not in vain. Instead, it's a... Yeah, it's a tasty morsel. My fishing rod can safely go into this chest. And the only thing we need to do now before we can go back home is build 2 chunk loaders. Chunk loaders are seriously one of the simplest things to build. Very quick. So I'll grab the needed materials and then the building can begin. Now this chunk here needs to be in entity processing chunks at all times. That means that it needs to be in the exact same chunk that the nether portal is in, or in any one of these 8 chunks that are connected to it. So there's 9 chunks in total that this could be in. I'm going to do it in the exact same chunk just to make it easier. We're going to have a couple of hoppers like this. And when I said it's really simple, I wasn't joking. You put a slab there, you get rid of that. Then placing the hopper minecart here makes it slide to there. I'll light up this portal and record the coordinates. And then I'm going to go to this portal above the nether and build a portal that will perfectly connect. So looking good to me. If I put this minecart here, it's going to eventually go through the portal. As you can see, the hopper minecart stays there. And then I just place netherrack either side of this minecart. And as you can see, it's going to now keep coming through. Well, it will when I place the first one down. So as you can see, it's going to get broken under the side, instantly going to this hopper, and a new one is going to get replenished and dispensed over and over again. So the chunk loader is working nicely. If I put this here, I'll be able to see that it's working from further away because of the light as well. And the chunk loader that's going to be over here is where things will be ever so slightly different. You see, this pig needs to be in lazy chunks at all times. So at the end of my render distance, this would be in my render distance. This would be in lazy chunks where entities aren't properly processed. So if I build a chunk loader in this chunk, then this chunk will be loaded properly. This chunk will be loaded properly, but this one and all the others kind of around this line will be lazy chunks. And it happens that this one is the one that has the pig in the minecart in. Does that make sense? The minecart's got to stay in lazy chunks at all times. And as far as building this, it's literally the exact same thing again. And there we have it. 2 working chunk loaders, which means it's done. There's nothing more I can do. I am ready to go back home. Okay, I suppose there's one more thing that I do need to remember. I cannot, under any circumstances, leave without Buddy. No, you can't stay here, little fella. You've got to come back with me. Why is he looking out the window? Come this way. Now, the way I intend to get him back is by using the nether. Now, the chunk loaders should, in theory, mean that he'll teleport to me. Because as long as the position that Buddy is at is loaded, yeah, he should teleport. Now, can we get him? Okay, we just sent a panda through. I'm just slowly getting more and more pandas in the nether. Anyway, Buddy is through. And if I take him to one of the chunk loaders that is going to run the farm, as long as he is in any one of these loaded chunks, so basically anywhere along here, he will teleport. So I can head through. You stay there, Buddy. I'll be back. Well, actually, in theory, I'll just see him back home. So yeah, I think we're good. I think it's ready to happen. My ender chest has the needed saddle. There's a needed fishing rod there as well. The correct amount of items are in this hopper. The chests are filled with every single needed boat. And both chunk loaders are successfully running. So I'm going to begin by making sure my render distance and simulation distance are 16 chunks. And then to start the machine, I very simply use this note block. This is going to make a flying machine, bring the pig but leave the minecart behind, and it's going to bring the pig all the way to here. Here it is. The flying machine. There's a pig right there. It might not look like it, but there is. Now, it is dispensing boats. Now, these boats are pushing the pig, okay? I'll be honest, you can't see the pig. I'll make it so you can see the pig. While these boats are being dispensed, as I said, this chunk is now being loaded. The lazy chunk is still being loaded. We can hop in this minecart and unload the chunks on the client side, so on my computer. The game will still load them because of the chunk loaders, but my client side won't have them loaded. I hope that makes sense. I could have done this by just flying to the world border and flying back, but I thought a nice minecart ride would be better. You'll see that very, very shortly, that will disappear out of render distance. There we go. Now it is gone, and I'll be sent all the way back. And now, as I return over here, you can see the pig. He's now visible to you guys. So, as you can see, these boats, now this pig, he can't actually be moved, okay? He is building up momentum because the game still thinks he's in a minecart, but the boats are pushing him. So the game is giving him momentum, all right? But he's stuck in the minecart. As soon as I destroy that minecart, that's still moving, by the way, but as soon as I destroy that minecart, he will then go flying because all of that momentum will be built up. All the boats are now dispensed. They're just constantly pushing him. His momentum number is going up and up and up. Using this note block, we'll activate this redstone and we'll destroy the minecart. That is what will send this little fella flying, and I will be riding him when he does it. As you know, we have a saddle. We're going to put that on him. Now, the boats are giving him sideways momentum. They're going to make him go flying that way. But we also need him to go a bit upwards so that he don't just go flying straight into the terrain. He needs to fly upwards as well. To do that, we're going to use the fishing rod. The fishing rod is what will give him upwards momentum. So I stand right here and I hook him. And I'm going to do this 20 times in total. So already I've done it 3 times. And you'll see when I actually hook him back in, he doesn't move because he can't move. The game thinks he's in a minecart, but it is giving him upwards momentum. I can technically do this as many times as I want, and I'll just go higher and higher. I haven't actually tested, but I wonder if it could go like 1,000,000 blocks high if you gave him loads of upwards momentum. I think you could. Anyway, that's enough upwards momentum. 20 times. It'll make him fly about 600 blocks up in the air, which is more than enough for the process. So now I just have to wait. I have to wait about 5 days for this entire process to finish. Basically, this is constantly counting down, moving this redstone block. Every time it moves, an observer moves. And once all of these observers kind of move so that they're all in a line right here, the timer finishes. But because of like the system, it takes way longer. It takes like, I don't know, 50 times or something stupid. So the pig is gaining momentum all this time. I'll be back in 5 days when this is finished. And I know it's finished because that stupid dispenser will stop making a racket. And the lava will destroy all the boats too. And the machine is now completed. The lava destroyed all the boats. And now the hopper minecart is picking them all up. So I'm just going to wait for every single one to go in so the system fully resets itself. There we go. Now we jump on the pig. The game thinks that the pig is still in a minecart all the way over there in lazy chunks, but he's not. So if we go ahead and get on him, pressing this note block will send a redstone line which will destroy the minecart. This pig has loads of momentum and he will go flying. All that momentum will suddenly take action. He'll go flying in that direction. Now, are you ready, little fella? You're not Cedric. I should have done this with Cedric, although there's a chance the pig would die, which we really don't want. So, it is time to go home. Top left, I've put my coordinates so you can see how fast we are moving. We're 29 million blocks at the moment, and we are going to do this in 3, 2, 1. Ready, little fella? Let's go. This will destroy the minecart in the distance. And... okay, I don't know what just happened there. It was a really weird graphical glitch, but we have carried on through, okay? And now we are traveling. As you can see already, we're down to 22 million blocks, 20 million blocks, 18 million blocks. Oh, it's incredible. 17 million, 15 million, 14 million. And we can actually kind of see the terrain every now and again. 12 million. And we're flying across. It was so weird when I thought I'd gone into the fire. But anyway, it was just a slight visual glitch. We're now at 8 million, 7.3 million, 6.6 million. We are going home. And this pig is coming with me. If he survives, he's going to get his own hotel and house and everything. He deserves it. 4 million, 3.7 million. Look at it. It's getting closer and closer to it. 2.8 million. I mean, I could probably fly back at this point, you know, if I went in the nether. We're down to 2 million now. Less than a million. 700,000, 650,000. And now under 100,000. It's 90,000 blocks. 84,000, 79,000. We are getting closer and closer, guys. It's happening. 48,000, 46,000. It's just watching it count. It's so crazy to see how we've literally just flown 29,900,000 blocks so fast. 36,948. I'm worried about the Z saying we're 272,000 away. We might have a little bit of traveling. We're right now, look like, I don't know what we're above the terrain-wise. 35,000. Oh, it was so close. We've got to 25,000, and we're pretty much now at the point where the pig's more or less run out of momentum. He's now falling down, and he is gonna survive. Yes, he landed. Whoa! How far down did you just go? He went straight to the bottom from all his momentum. So I'm very pleased he survived. Yeah, there is the slight issue that we got a little bit of sideways momentum. So we've still got 272,000 blocks in the Z to get home. I'll try and get you home someday, mate, but it may be a slight challenge. I'm just impressed that we have managed to get within 200,000 blocks of home. That's good enough for me. And of course, if we go into the nether, suddenly we're only 34,000 blocks. And we've got Buddy. Oh, this is brilliant, mate. So it worked. The chunk loader system worked as well. That's fantastic. Okay, buddy. You stay there. I'm going to break this portal. In fact, before I do that, I'm going to send Buddy through. Then I'll break it. And from there, I need to go above the bedrock. I would say it's easily done, but I have the ladders. Didn't bring any ender pearls, did I? So just give me 1 second. I'll just have to try and track down an enderman. There we go. I'll grab an ender pearl. Or maybe I'll grab 2. Who knows? You can never have too many. In fact, we've got 5 altogether. Then I shall fly all the way back to where I was. Thankfully, I wrote down the coordinates of my portal, so I knew exactly where it was. And with that, I can place some ladders and throw the ender pearl through. Come on then, buddy. You can come through. Pig, I will return. Don't ever forget, buddy, where are you swimming off to? Come here. I've just traveled 29 million blocks on a pig, and you can't even go back through a portal. Yes, you need to go back to the nether. I'm sorry. Where are you trying to go? I am your master. Please listen to me. The next update has 8 new wolf variants. Don't think that I can't replace you. Having said that, if there's anyone that's been through thick and thin with me, it is you. Also, I'll only be able to find this portal by looking at this video. So, there we go. I've put the coordinates on. I'm not going to write them down any other way. When we go back for the pig, that's where I've got to go. And this is it. Only 33,000 blocks stand between me and home. And yet, I've got to kind of fly slowly to make sure that Buddy can make it back. Well, I've got some slightly bad news. I have run out of firework rockets, and I have no paper. I should have stocked better for this journey. I didn't think I'd have to fly all this way. So I'm going to have to use these last rockets quite well. I can only fly up and down every 500 blocks. Otherwise, Buddy will not teleport. So I'm going as far as I can with these remaining rockets. And the remaining 24,000 blocks are all going to have to be done on foot. Good thing at the very least, I've got loads of food, haven't I? I'm literally just holding a load of keys down on my keyboard with various items that I've got. So I can go hands-free. And I'll be able to get back pretty soon. Thankfully, there's nothing above the nether that can kill you. Yeah, probably famous last words. I'm going to go make a cup of tea. Although, usually something bad happens when I make a tea. Anyway, I'm sure I'll be fine. Is that civilization I see? A chicken! 3 chickens! Why are there chickens everywhere? I have no idea. Very, very strange indeed. But it doesn't matter because I know that these slime blocks lead to the portals. That's the Huglin farm. That's another chicken. And we're here. We've made it. 3 months in the making, and I am back home. And not only have I managed to get back home, but I kind of have a method to get to and from the world border. Assuming I don't run out of firework rockets. Let's head down. Let's do this. All right, buddy. You go first. Hopefully it's okay. Hopefully nothing bad has happened whilst I've been gone. And here we are. Here we are. Oh my goodness. Everything's just as I remember it. Hello, villagers. You've been trapped here for so long. My house. Everything. The sub count's outdated. I got to update that painting to be the latest sub count. We got way more subscribers. It's all here. It's all here. Buddy, do you remember this? It's been so long. Sonic, the villagers head, all my items, the storage, the obsidian. It's all here. Finally, I can put items into the auto sorter. I can grab a bunch of paper so that I'm no longer going to run out of firework rockets. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back and we're back on top. Look at all the cool posters. All my notch apples, all my diamonds, my beacons, years of work back in my hands. Buddy, you can go back in your house. You're probably not going to have another adventure for another 3 years now. And boy, is it great to be back. I can do so many more projects again now. We can get going. This is everything we needed. But, ladies and gentlemen, as I have said, a new Minecraft update has come out, and we are still in 1.20.1. We need to update to 1.21, but updating will break something in my world. And that something is my fancy XP farm. You see, the shulker box update suppression will no longer work. If you don't know what that means, you need to watch the video where I build the world's fastest XP farm. But basically, these are all glitch shulker boxes, and the comparators are update suppressing the furnaces. If I go like this on a random one, and I break and replace it over and over again, look how fast I'm gaining XP. Over and over again, it just keeps replenishing the XP. It is such a fast one. It's the fastest possible XP farm in Minecraft. It's physically impossible to build a faster one, and once this update, it's not going to work anymore. So I have to use it as much as I can now before it's gone. I can't use it to get the highest possible level, because I think somebody got 100,000 levels using this method just by AFKing for like weeks. Well, I'd go way past 10,000 days and everything if I did that, so I don't want to do that. But I'd like to at least get past, like, I don't know, 12, 13,000 levels maybe, something like that. I don't know exactly how high, but I'm going to use it for a few days, maybe 10 days, something like that, and see where I end up, because once I update, I can't use it. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else that I want to do before I update. What are you guys doing here? This is not open to the public. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I want to do before I update my world. All these glitch blocks should still be preserved. So right now, I'm just going to focus on getting as much XP as possible. So I'm going to fly over the nether, build a portal, and start searching. And here we go. First one spotted. You shall be the chosen one. There you go, 2 bones. And it's going to be difficult to take you home, so I'm going to leave you there forever and ever and ever. All right, just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you. If you can make it home without dying in the nether, then you can live with me forever, okay? Deal? Yeah, I think we've got a deal. Congratulations. Clearly, you are a survivor. In fact, that is the name that I will give you. Survivor. Now we're officially attached to him. And now you can live in here with all of my other dogs. Yeah, this prison dog kennel is going to get pretty cramped if I get every single dog back. I've already got the rusty variant. I've now got the woods one. I will have to tame a brand new pale one for it to head towards all 9 wolves of the advancement. But hey, 2 out of 9 so far is not bad. But you know what I already do have all 9 of? The 1,000 days posters. Yes, just look at them all. Nicely up to day 8,000. And for 9,000 days, here is the latest one. I think it's another awesome one. Show me collect all of the rare blocks, getting stranded at the world border. I've also signed every single one by hand, which took loads and loads of hours, but I hope that you'll like it. And I've also got a collection of every single one on my wall in real life, which I think looks pretty cool. So check out the 9,000 days poster on sb737.store and add it to your collection, or start your collection right now. And you'd better be quick, because once they sell out, they are gone forever. Perfect, and now I'd better collect the rest of them wolves, since I've still got another 7 to go. Another one. Now, I already have this type of wolf at home, but it does add to the counter. Because of that, I'm not going to take you home. Sorry, little fella, but you can live in this village. Yes, this guy will take good care of you. I mean, it's not like he's stupid enough to walk into some trapdoors and never be able to escape it. Are you serious? Really? That was a trap? Don't worry, little fella. I'm sure you're in safe hands. In this biome, we can find the Ashen one, so I'm hoping that they're lurking somewhere inside. Yes, we've got him. Okay, protect me. Okay, if you defeat... Oh, there's loads of them. Yeah, that's right. Not so tough now, are you, you stupid guy? All right, well, you seem like a nice wolf. Let's go with you. Whoa, whoa. Don't... whoa, who do you think you are? Leave my dog alone. Be healed, little fella. You deserve it. Welcome home, and I'm going to call you Ash. Aha. Wolf spotted. It's the striped variant, and that is 5 out of 9. And I've just found the spotted wolf too. Welcome both of you to the very cramped kennel. I found an old growth pine tiger where the black wolf can spawn. Let's see if we can find him. Aha! Welcome little fella to the team. And it turns out this is an old growth spruce which has more of the smaller trees with the chestnut wolf. Let's get you tamed and take both of you back home. And now the final wolf is the snowy one, found in the grove biome. Here's one up ahead with the wolf. Let's go. So we can tame you up. And we have completed the whole pack. And now let's get you home. And I'm going to go above the nether this time just to make traveling back much easier. There we go. You're not all getting names. You're not all getting armor. If you're living there for 8,000 days, then I'll think about it. And 1.21 has now made it so that a brand new farm is possible to be built. You see, we can now use cobwebs to brew weaving. And if a mob has the weaving effect, when you take it out, cobwebs will spawn, as you can see. This means that cobwebs are now not only renewable, but also farmable as well. So I'm going to go ahead and repair my elytra, and then I'll collect up all of the needed items to build the cobweb farm. Every needed item is inside of these shulker boxes, except for a couple of things. For example, I'll need a load of shears, which I could get from a stack of iron. And I'll need a load of splash potions of weaving, which will be splashed onto the mobs so that I get the cobwebs. To get the machine going, that should be enough. Oops, well, I just accidentally I meant to place down the shulker box. Oh, well, you know what? We've got perfect amount of space now. If I die, I'll spawn a cobweb. Well, I hope I don't. It's really not worth that for one cobweb, is it? And we're going to be building this farm in the end dimension. That's so that, kind of like the skulk farm, we can take out endermen that spawn and use them to generate the cobwebs. Also going to quickly nip back because I need dirt to bridge outwards and actually be able to build it. And now the building of this can begin, starting off with the storage at the bottom. And straight away already, I've just realized, forgotten the hopper minecart. So I'll just quickly remove this entire dirt bridge. Then I'll grab a hopper minecart from home, a boat, which I also happen to need, a few pieces of string, and we need an endermite, which means we need ender pearls. Let's get that added to there and get back to building. The reason for all the double carpets is so that the endermen cannot teleport onto these. They can't teleport onto double carpet. This dispenser has lava in it, which is what takes out the enderman. And this chest will be full of the weaving pots, but I don't want to fill it just yet. And it's the same for the shears here. They'll be there. But I want to finish the redstone first so that we don't activate anything. Because once I place this torch here, loads of redstone's going to get activated, which is why I was avoiding that. Now to build the giant chute that all of the endermen will fall down. This big platform up here is what the endermen are going to spawn on. And the carpets and walls are what are going to protect an endermite that is going to be living above this wall. And this is where I have the very fun task of trying to spawn an endermite and get him in this boat. I'll begin by just throwing loads and loads of ender pearls. Eventually, one has to spawn, doesn't it? In fact, I think... Does it spawn? Okay, well, we got it anyway. I was about to say, does it spawn where you land or where you throw it from? I think it's where you throw it from. Next, we need to name tag him. It's going to be called Bait. There we go. And then hopefully he goes... Yes, he's in the boat. Okay, it actually worked. It's 10 times easier getting him in a boat than it is into a minecart. And once he's in the boat, you can't name him, which is why I had to do it before. So he is now ready. And in actual fact, the whole farm should be ready. All that's stopping it is that I have all of these guys in this little place right here. And this is a mob switch. This means that no mobs will spawn in the end. That is, unless I lower my render distance so that they're no longer here. And enderman should be spawning. Yep, it's working. I'm going to craft every single one of them shears and add them to this chest. All of the weaving can go into here. And then for it to fully work, we just go ahead and drop into here. Look slightly to the left. Not exactly forward, but slightly left. And when we touch the string, which is somewhere up here, you can see it's just above my head. It then activates everything. And there you go. It all happens. We've got cobwebs. So I'm now going to mine said cobwebs. So you just literally hold in left click and it is mining all of them. And you know you've got the right angle if you can get that end one round there. I didn't get it this time, so obviously I wasn't looking far enough to the left. And when I go up, the water activates the trapdoors and pushes the cobwebs out so that I can pick them up, which is perfect. So yeah, we could just basically keep going around. We don't, thankfully, we don't break that gate, which is a good thing. Just accidentally broke a bit of glass. I'll put dirt there for now. I think it should be okay. And I've just realized that not very many Endermen are spawning because they're all spawning on this farm over here. Yeah, I obviously built them a little bit too close. I think the easiest way to get around that will be to fly away so they despawn and just make my render distance even lower. That should take them out of the equation. And then I can run this farm properly. Now, in a very short space of time, I have managed to get over a stack of cobwebs, some of which is filtering into the storage. We're also getting ender pearls. So now I'm going to head back home to brew loads more weaving. And I'm also going to turn all of these nether stars into beacons because having haste 2 will make the farm that little bit better. Let's get the chests restocked. It'd be cool if I could connect this to an automatic weaving potion brewer, wouldn't it? But for the effort that would take, it's probably not worth it, is it? I'll also build this beacon for haste 2 and then spawn proof it so that I don't have to worry about enderman spawns. Right now, getting to the storage is also kind of annoying, so I'm going to improve that a little bit. This damage can be fixed. I don't want it to be a dirt block. And I've just realized in adding all this glass that the enderman will be able to teleport onto it, so I better stop that by using waterlogged leaves instead, because endermen aren't able to teleport onto that. And with that, I'm ready to properly put this farm to the test and get as many cobwebs as possible for the next couple of days. You'll also see that my shears have just broke, but I pick up a new pair just like that and then can continue using the farm. So yeah, it perfectly replenishes your shears. The design is by Raiseworks. It's a really, really cool one. I absolutely love it. So now let's get loads and loads of cobwebs. The farm has been running very well, but I've run out of the weaving potions, so there's no point using the farm any longer. Even more cobwebs in here, nice. And so many ender pearls. Look at them all. Okay, it's kind of an ender pearl farm as well. And realistically, I don't think I'll need more cobwebs than this anytime soon. And the next farm that I'm now going to build is a silverfish slime farm. It's built using allays, the new infested effect, and the new oozing effect. Just like the cobweb farm, it's going to take quite a few different items, so I'm going to get to work collecting all of them. So I've just noticed, guys, that 1.21 has nerfed void trading because going through in gateways now works as like a chunk loader and loads the chunks. So after you open the inventory, if you don't wait long enough, for example, look, I've done that. I go back through, and that is now, it's not restocked. But this time I've waited a while. I'm going to make it so that that's got an X on the name tags, and I go back to him now, and it's gone back. So you have to wait ages. It's just made it really slow. So it's probably quicker for me to just grab a few shulker boxes of sand and add them to the super smelter. And then as the glass is produced, it goes down the water tunnel and into my chest room storage, which then nicely filters into this chest. Anyway, time to stop getting distracted with glass and instead focus on getting what I need. And this farm is going to use the brand new crafter to automatically turn all of the slime balls into slime blocks. It's going to save me so much storage. And that is everything. I'm also going to grab a few amethyst shards, then I can duplicate the allays. And doing that duplication will also require a music disc. I tell you what, let's go with Pigstep. Doesn't the poster look great in here? I will add it to the art gallery. I just need to extend that wall. Yeah, we haven't quite got the space for it just yet. But yeah, first things first, Operation Build the Slime Farm. And I kind of feel like right here is the spot to build it. I might just have to flatten out a little bit of the terrain, which not only involves mining blocks, but also placing them as well. I'm starting off with the storage system, and because this farm produces hundreds of thousands of slime per hour, we're gonna need a lot of chests. Every single one of the crafters is now placed down, and all of these campfires are gonna be what actually takes out the slimes. And the reason campfires are good is because it'll take out the mob, but the hoppers underneath can still pick up the items. This glass chute is what all of the silverfish are gonna fall down, and when they die, the slimes will be produced. And I'm also going to use cobwebs so that they fall a little bit slower. Then more of them can get splashed with oozing as well. So the cobweb farm has already come in handy. This right here is the system that's going to dispense the oozing potions. So we need a stack and 10 in there. And that will just mean that every so often an oozing potion gets dispensed onto the cobwebs. And this system right here is what will splash the allays with the infested effect. So we also need to put 2 stacks and 61 items in there. This also needs to be water so that they get pushed upwards. And because the allays can't get past this wall, they'll get to the top and get stuck, but the silverfish can, and they will flow to here. You'll see it in action. Let's just top it off with a roof. And then I need to actually go and get some allays into it. And I also thought I'd add these ladders into my house because they should be there. It looks weird without them. Now, whilst you have been trapped here for thousands and thousands of days, I think I'm just going to leave you there. poor guy. I'm going to go into here to get some allays. Yes, we've got plenty in there. In my ender chest, I've got plenty of leads. He's got one of my totems. Whoa! What do you think you're doing with a totem, little fella? Well, anyway, let's not point fingers. Instead, let's grab a few of them. Basically, the more allays we have, the better the farm will be. Where do you think you're going? You're not just floating off. They get released for the first time in years as well, and they're doing everything. Wait, are you outside? No, I'm happy with 4 staying in there. I can always duplicate more anyway. Yep, guys, come with me. And I don't really know how I'm going to get them all in without some sort of disaster. But at the very least, I can try my best. So basically, the way this is going to work is I just have to get them to go into here. Here's an idea. What if I give them an item? Give me back my totem first, mate. I give them an item, and I throw the item, like, here, so that he tries to go and get it. Come on. You do your job. Here we go. He spotted it. Now, and go in. Oh, we got one in. Okay. Is that the one? Oh, that's the one. He spotted it and went in. Okay, the plan's working. Here, have one for you as well. And then in you go. Don't ask, guys. I tried to fly. I released the allays. I've got a few allays in there, and because they regenerate their health so fast, they can just infinitely take damage. They'll never die. And if I put a music disc on and right-click them all, as you can see... Oh, okay, I just let it out. I didn't mean to touch that trapdoor. I let them all out. Alrighty, we've got them all back in. I can breed more. And now all I need is the infested and oozing potions. Right now, I'm manually brewing them, but I think I'll build a little simple machine that will allow me to do it much, much faster. That should be all the oozing that I'll need for now. And I've got a couple of infested ones, so I can at least get the farm going. And then whilst it's running, I can brew more. That's a perfect plan. So infested can go in here because every time a mob takes damage, it has a 10% chance to spawn 1 to 2 silverfish when it has the infested effect. These allays are constantly drowning for the rest of their life. And then in here is where the oozing effect will go. Because when the silverfish have the oozing effect and they die, they'll spawn slime. In theory, it should work perfectly. I'm going to see if I can breed any more of these quickly. It doesn't look like it, does it? I'll probably have to wait a little bit longer. Whilst I'm waiting that time, I'm going to brew even more infested ones. Now to load up this chest, breed more allays, and then get ready for the magic to happen. Once we flick this lever, they're going to get the infested effect. Loads of silverfish are going to start spawning. You ready? And here we go. The silverfish are coming through. It's very, very cool indeed. So yeah, silverfish will just keep coming through over and over again. The more allays we get, the more silverfish we'll have. And then if we flick this lever, the timer will start for splashing the oozing effect. So here we go. It's about to happen. They're going to get splashed. They've now got all oozing. Apparently, I've got the oozing effect as well. And once they start to get through the cobwebs, they're going to start falling here. And as they die, they're going to produce slimes. The slimes are going to die straight away on the campfires. And the slime balls are just going to come through so fast. As you can see, into the crafters, we have got them. Oh, I need to turn it on so it actually starts crafting them. So, now that this redstone's activating, the crafters will be constantly crafting anytime they fill with slime. And when that happens, we get slime blocks into here. Absolutely fantastic. And as I said, once I get more allays in there, this will speed up even more. Because right now, this isn't even that many silverfish. Yes, this is really going to solve my slime block problems. And if I'd have built this in the end dimension, I could have chunk loaded it and it would work no matter where I am, which is kind of awesome too. But if I'm in the same dimension as this and I'm over 128 blocks away, the silverfish will just despawn, which is why I kind of need to stay near it for where it is right now. So I'll breed a few more allays and I'll keep doing that every 5 minutes, and I'm going to make myself a nice little safety spot so that I will not be in any trouble and the farm will be running, getting me loads of slime. The farm was running really well, but completely run out of oozing, haven't I? So all I've got now is a silverfish farm with a ridiculous amount of silverfish, yeah, just dropping down here for no reason. And across the board, if we add up all the slime blocks that I got, it's over a shulker box worth. Yes, this is a very, very good farm. Only gonna get faster as I add more allays. In fact, eventually, I want it to be so fast that the hoppers can't keep up, and then I know I've got enough allays. An entire shulker box of slime blocks in only 1 day of running the farm. Wow. The oozing effect really is OP. I also need to properly solve this problem of running out of the potions. Like, we're not even far off running out of infested, are we? In theory, I do have this machine, but it's a bit complicated and annoying to change the ingredients, and I can't really add any other ingredients. So whilst that would be extremely fast, I'm going to go for something a little simpler just for the moment. These are literally all the items I need. Not many at all. And I think it's going to be best if I build it outside. I'll build it here near the goat breeder when I was trying to get screaming goats. So it's going to start off with some redstone like so, and I put it in the middle. And then we're going to kind of do this pattern going upwards. So once again, another 4 hoppers going into those. No, well, not like that. Not on top at all. So the way it'll work is the nether wart will be brewed here. Then it'll add the weaving, the oozing, whatever I want to do. And then this will make it splash. And the idea is that the hoppers are all going to be powered. And that's what makes them brew. And that's pretty much it. I just need to get the ingredients and add in all of the water bottles. So the way this works is when I push the button, any potions that are in this brewing stand move to this one, start brewing. Then they move to this one. And it just kind of works like that. So as you can see, they all refill and come down here. And I've also added a timer here. So if I press this button, it will go ahead, do the empty, refill them all. They'll start brewing. And when the 20 seconds is up, I could have done this way more effectively, but I decided to just use loads of repeaters. But yeah, when the signal gets all the way around, it will empty them all, and it'll just keep going round itself over and over again. I'm very happy with the system, and I'm going to take these to add them to the farm. And I'm going to increase the size of the storage so that I can run this for much longer. I've really expanded the amount of water bottles that this can hold. I've expanded the amount of ingredients that I can put in by putting hoppers above, and the storage significantly increases. How did you guys get in there? But yeah, basically, I've got more than enough stuff that I need to run this slime farm for quite a long time. And so that's what I'm going to do. Everything's as well stocked as it can be. I'm going to start up the farm and try and breed a few more allays if I can. And I'll see how much slime I can get. I reckon that's now definitely long enough. And the reason I say that is because I've run out of the oozing potions, which means we're no longer getting slimes at the bottom. But boy, have we got a lot of slime blocks. And escape slime too. What are you guys doing out here? So I shall now grab a few lime green shulker boxes and fill them up. Looks like my problem of not having any slime is definitely fixed. Perfect. Now in this room, I have a collection of every single mob. But it's actually not every single mob. Because recently, the game has added armadillos, the bogged, and the breeze. So not only do I need to go and capture those mobs, I've also got to work out where on earth am I going to put them. But yeah, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. First things first, let's go out and capture all 3 of those mobs. Starting with the armadillo, because I think that one's going to be the easiest. All I need to do is try and find a savannah, but we've not found one just yet. Hang on a minute. And so now I just need to see if I can spot the little armadillo. Hang on a minute. Could it be? There you are, little fella. I'm assuming I can put them on leads. Yep, I'm going to bring 2 of them back, just because then if I ever need another armadillo, I've got them forever. In fact, I'll bring 3, 4. Yeah, you can all come back. You're all welcome. Although having said that, if I'm going to safely get them all back, I should probably remove this particular portal. Then go above the nether, rebuild the portal. And of course, I messed it up. For some reason, I need to be over there, but the portal is in completely the wrong place. I'm going to see what happens if we go through here. Are we going to connect? It's risky, I know. Okay, yeah, guys, you don't want to be here. I'm sorry. Let's get you home. And instead, let's get you through this one. Alrighty, Armadillo team, let's get moving. Welcome, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do with you just yet. So for now, I'll grab a fence and tie you all up. And these next guys are going to be quite annoying, so I'm going to get armor that doesn't have any thorns on it. And then I'm going to head to a swamp. The good thing about finding certain biomes around my house is I know where everything is. All right, guys, I don't want to scare you. I don't know why I left you here, to be honest. Are you breeding? How are you breeding? There's no beds. You really can find love in the most unlikely places, can't you? But anyway, you're not going to survive the night unless we do something drastic like hide you in here. And then I'm just going to leave him to do whatever they're doing in there. And the next step is quite simple. We just have to wait for that sun to go down so it gets dark. Another villager? Mate, you won't survive the night either. Okay, well, you won't survive the night if I keep hitting you. That was an accident. But it's for your own good. I have to put them in holes on their own nowadays, otherwise you just get love hearts popping up. But anyway, whilst I wait for the sun to set, I'm going to grab a raft. And because you can now put leads on boats, this is going to be much easier. Here we go. The darkness has descended. And now we just wait for a bogged to spawn. I hope those 2 are going to be alright in there. So far, I haven't seen one, but I'm sure I'll get one eventually. In fact, we've already got one. So you can go in a boat. There we go. And you see, this is the beauty of having... Why is there a creeper in there with you? It's just never simple, is it? Are you seriously going to attack him? No. No. Hey, leave him alone. Get away. No, creeper, don't blow up. Okay, well, we lost the first bog, hey, but at least the boat's okay. But as for the second one, guys, don't all attack each other now. Come on, we can work this out. You're kind of cool, you've got armor, but I'm not going to have you for my collection. I just need you to get into this boat. I'm going to end up dying of poison, aren't I? 1.5 hearts and a dream? Okay, half a heart and a dream. Yeah, maybe I should do a little bit of eating. Aha! You guys can't swim. Oh, the joke's on you. You can't get to me. Where did he go? Did he transform into a sheep? My goodness, I feel like I've been at this all night. I don't think my guy over there is going to survive. Quick, SP, you can do this. throw him on fire. There we go. We saved him. Now I can fly away, let everything else despawn. That really was some quick thinking, wasn't it? And from there, I can attach the lead to the boat and drag him along. Okay, we've got a pig as well. We don't mind. We're just going to make sure that he doesn't keep hitting me with his arrows. Although, to be honest, my armor's good enough. As long as I keep eating, then I should be okay. Oh, it's raining now. Well, you'll definitely be fine. I suppose we are going to be going into snow, though. And then the rain will not save him. Now, the great thing about being able to put a boat on a lead is... Wait, what has happened? Oh, no. I've lost him. I got so close, then I dropped him. I can see the pig over there. Is he going to drown now? Poor guy can't swim. I don't know how that happened. It was fine for so long. Well, just excuse me one moment. There we go. I can now build upwards to lift him onto the ice. That's really, really good. And he is now safely into the mob room. It'd actually be really cool if I could put him with these guys, because he'd be with his own kind, but we haven't really got space. Unless we move the kitty cat. I suppose that's an option, but it's not an option I'm going to worry about right now. The priority instead is to go out and track down a breeze. I'm currently about 25,000 blocks from my house, and usually you would use a cartographer to buy a map, and then that would allow you to find a trial chambers. But if you press F3 and 1, you get a little pie chart in the bottom right. It's actually very little. I feel like I need a magnifying glass to read it. Anyway, if you press 4, then 1 and 3, you can see that in my render distance, there's currently a mob spawner. And if I bump my render distance up to 16 chunks, you'll see that now there is 2 more things. A vault and a trial spawner. So those are currently somewhere in my render distance. Now, if I lower my render distance to 10, you'll see that they unload. And now I need to go in all 4 directions. Okay, well, if we go in this direction, we get a vault appear. If we go, let's try maybe this direction. Okay, so somewhere in this direction by 10 chunks, there is a trial spawner. So I've gone 10 chunks this way. Now I changed my render distance to 2, and it's still loaded in, which means it's pretty near. I think it's in that direction. Like if I go here, it disappears. I come here. Yeah, so if we go like 3 chunks this way, I would estimate that there is a trial chambers somewhere around about here. So all that is left to do is dig on down. And the general area I've found a trial chambers to be is around -10, which we've hit. And we're straight in. Look at that. Oh, brilliant. Who needs maps when you can just do that? Now, of course, this is the guy we're after. So let's go ahead and try and get him in a boat if we can. There we go. We got him. Okay, perfect. Now we need him to stop damaging himself. I think somebody is... Oh, is there poison here or something? That's not good. I also need to make sure that I don't personally die as well. Oh, look at that. We got a key. Should we just use it and see what we get? Oh, emeralds. Amazing. Oh, and a diamond chest plate. That's actually pretty good loot. Pretty good loot that I don't really need. I mean, I could trade for a diamond chest plate if I wanted it. But it is cool nonetheless. I think, yeah, it's in here. This is where the poison is. Let's get rid of that so we don't have to worry about it. And then we must build a portal. And it's pretty much going to be the same as before. We're going to get the portal above the bedrock. This is such an inefficient way to dig up, by the way, just using my elytra stuff. But, hey, it works at the very least. Oh, my last firework rocket as well. Perfect. Up we go. Is that the portal I built before? Ah, to be honest with you, they're almost connected. Not quite, but almost did. Yep, you weren't close enough. And now you must be destroyed. Although this portal now doesn't connect to the one I just made. Why does this have to happen? I should have got exact coordinates and divided them. Then it would have been 100% accurate. Instead, yeah, we're just going to keep ending up through here. Right, let's try and get back to the trial chambers. Here's the hole that I dug before. Okay, down to 1 heart. Nice one, SB. This right here is the exact spot that the portal should be. And it properly links up. That is very, very nice. So now let's attach the boat to the lead and hopefully drag him through. I'll tell you what, this update has made getting mobs into portals so much easier, isn't it? Because now I don't have to sit in the boat with you like I used to have to. Instead, we can run away. Well, we could run away, but we're actually going in the wrong direction. Instead, this is the correct way home. Also, when I get hit by his wind charges, it gives me a little boost from my elytra as well, which is kind of nice. It's always funny when I'm going along the nether roof and I just see random portals that I made some other time. Well, thanks to the new boats on leads, getting you back was an absolute breeze. Yeah, okay, I had to make that joke at least once. So now that every mob is here, where am I going to put them? I know it's not ideal, but Minecraft is going to keep adding more mobs, so I'm thinking maybe the floor could be the next place. Although maybe I'll be at 10,000 days and the series is over by the time there's more mobs. I don't know. But yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove this panda here. Because at the end of the day, okay, I don't need this floor filled with all the mobs' faces. Like, of course I like it. I think it looks cool. But it would also look cool to have mobs down here. And because these spaces are a little bit bigger, that means I can make their actual homes bigger and almost have it like it's a bit of an enclosure. That's all 3 holes dug. It'd be better if I had a 4th mob to add, wouldn't it? But yeah, we haven't got that many. And I'm going to to try and create a bit of a swamp theme for this first one. That the armadillo's going to... No, I'm just kidding. That the bog is going to live in. So we're going to need mud. I think that'll help. Bit of muddy mangrove roots. Yeah, that'll never go awry. Yeah, I can definitely make something work with all of this stuff. So for the walls, I'm thinking mangrove logs. Oh my goodness, I was today years old when I found out you can craft muddy mangrove roots. That's cool, because I'm now going to use those as the walls. Next is going to be a mixture of grass, roots, and mud, which creates something that, in my opinion, is looking kind of cool. Yeah, I reckon the Bogd is going to love it. I can even throw down a few mushrooms for extra decoration. And then let's get him in. I'm going to get him in the old-fashioned way by luring him as he comes towards me. Although having said that, I'm not sure I really trust him, so you keep shooting and I'll drop you in. And from there, the final piece of the puzzle is glass for the roof, but I forgot to name tag him. I'm such an idiot. Just give me one moment. There we go, and you shall forever be known as Bogman. And you definitely won't despawn this time either. Now, as for the armadillo, I reckon it should be in a very savanna-like enclosure. So I'll start with a grass floor. It is a little bit of a shame that I can't choose the color of the grass, but I've got an idea to maybe help that. And that is to instead change pretty much all of it to be grass path. I think it does fit the aesthetics a little bit better, doesn't it? Just won't help when I want to make my little acacia trees, which I don't have enough leaves for. This is not looking great, is it? I think it's looking good, especially with the topping. I just definitely need to get another leaf for there. But that shouldn't be an issue, because I've got a sapling. I've got 2 bone meal. Come on, bone meal. 1, 2. Yeah, it was never going to work, was it? Thankfully, there's plenty more. You know, if the next another 2 doesn't do it, I don't even want the tree. No idea why I didn't just grab more. Why is there always a creeper, guys? Somebody tell me, why is there always a creeper? Are you kidding me? Right, I'll be back for you later. Instead, I've got to try and work out how I'm going to safely get all these armadillos down without any of them dying. Okay, well, I'm just going to take 1 for now. Do they take fall damage? Should we find out? No, I'm just kidding. Let's put you in a boat and then just drag the boat down. Then it won't take any fall damage. Look at that. How do you fit? Oh, we could go on this platform together. Oh, can I go in the boat with you? Oh, this is actually kind of cool. You can kind of make yourself like a flying boat. Okay, well, you know, it's not working. The idea was there, if nothing else. Anyway, you just go in there. I tell you what, the fact that you curl up and stop makes life much easier in sending you through a portal. And now you can be dragged upwards and added to your new home. Now, thankfully, armadillos don't despawn, so you don't need to worry about the name tag. The tree has grown, so I can get that leaf. And I also want to add a few white dots in the wall just to kind of decorate it that little bit more. Perfect. That is the armadillo also sorted, which means now it's all about the breeze. And I'm thinking that because the breeze exclusively comes from the trial chambers, for the floor, I think I'm going to use some of the new tough blocks. Or maybe it make more sense for the walls, because that's how it actually is in the trial chamber. So let's give that a go. And for the rest of the build, I want to use copper blocks. Ideally, I want to use oxidized copper. But to get that, you have to place normal copper blocks and wait ages and ages, and I ain't got time for that. I want to see the finished result now. So it's a good thing that there's an easier way. You see, if I go back to the place where I found that breeze, there's loads of oxidized copper ready and waiting for me. And there's regular waxed copper blocks as well, which will be handy too. I reckon at this point I should have enough. So let's fly back home and build the rest of the chamber. There we are. In my opinion, it actually looks really cool, doesn't it? And now all that is left to do is get the breeze, and he seems to have picked up a little armadillo passenger. This should be so straightforward. I think I just have to bring him. Yep, and he's in. I'm hoping this portal goes to the same place as that little portal down there. Of course it does. And I might regret this, but I'm going to release the armadillo, and then I'm going to get this guy into a chest. A chest? I mean, a boat. They're two completely different things. I can bring him upstairs. Oh, brilliant. The lead is on the boat is honestly the greatest thing ever. Honestly, leave those guys alone, mate. All right, come up the other stairs. I'm willing to make an exception and take you through the window. Oh, no, is he out of the boat? Oh, no. It's just a broken lead. Nothing to panic about. Through the window you come. And down these stairs to your new home. Before I do anything else, I'm going to name you Breeze Boy. Yeah, that's a great name for him, I think. And I hope he doesn't jump out. I need to block it up before he does, because I know what he's like. But ladies and gentlemen, the mob collection is now once again complete. That really does feel like a job well done, doesn't it? And in doing all those processes, I did end up breaking a pair of elytra, so I can repair them at this XP farm. I'll be honest, guys, I forgot to press record. I, stopped the recording whilst I was at that farm, and then, yeah, I forgot to press record again. Long story short, I'm looking for a pillager outpost. I found this pixel art that I made some time ago. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm looking for an outpost to build an ominous bottle farm. I do technically have a pillager captain farm, but it's not super effective, so I want to make one that's a little bit faster. But that means I need to find a pillager outpost that's in a good spot, in a nice flat area. Not really like this one. The area just isn't flat enough. It's just a bit hilly, and it's in a desert, which I kind of want to avoid if I can. To be honest, after the Caves and Cliffs update, it's a bit of a nightmare to find any outpost that is not on a hill. Like, seriously, this one would be an absolute nightmare. Although I could get a free ominous bottle from you, good sir. Okay, this one I think has potential. In fact, no, it's perfect. This is the one. Oh, he's already iron golems here as well. Wait, have I already been here? I must have been here. I must have let you guys out. When and why, I have no idea, but you're welcome. When did I ever come here? And I stole all the hay bales. I must have been desperate for it. Yeah, I've done some exploring. Sorry, guys. I've been here before, and I'm back to ruin your home even more now. Guys, look, I'm trying to build it. I'm trying to do a bit of terraforming for you, and you're just ruining it. But yeah, this is the rough distance that I need to flatten out the area so it's all on the same level as the outpost. So what, you think that the land is flat, but then once you start mining, you realize that to make it completely flat does take a little bit of effort, doesn't it? But that is why I didn't want to build it anywhere near a mountain, because then it would have taken forever. I also have to get rid of all the little structures that they built. Nothing can remain. There we go. Everything's flat. You guys are really annoying me. And now I'm going to start spawn-proofing the area with torches. For this layer, I need to destroy all the walls. Hey, will you just leave me alone? But yeah, now I'm going to remove all of these walls and the staircase too. This is where things probably get a little bit more annoying, but on this bottom level, I'm also going to destroy the stairs and all of the walls as well. Wait, look, guys, just please stop shooting me. You're all ganging up on me. I'm hoping that's going to be the last of them for a while. I'm guessing the golems have all died, sadly. There we go. Now, the next step is going to be to connect walls all the way around the outside. Tell you what, since I added the walls, it's actually a lot more peaceful. I'm just adding the storage that will collect the bottles, but yeah, they can't get me. In fact, I don't even see any spawning now. Oh, well, maybe I spoke too soon. Outside every single chest, we are going to add some hoppers. Next, I need to add a bunch of trapdoors, crimson gates, slabs, and lava. Now, I can also add some water, and that is going to really push them into the lava. Yeah, that'll teach you. And what is going to lure all of the pillagers to the middle? Well, an iron golem, of course. And there also needs to be one up here as well. Easy. Sorry, mate, you banged your head, didn't you? But anyway, that is pretty much it. I makes a kind of cool pattern to the torches on the roof, don't they? An X on the roof. Anyway, we are going to place down plenty of scaffolding and climb to the top. Or fly. That's probably quicker. This slab roof will stop the phantoms. And that is it. The farm is done. At the bottom here, pillagers are spawning, and they go for the golems, and they end up burning once they go to the water. From there, ominous bottles go into the chest, and it spawns a lot very fast. I mean, look at them over there. You also get the ominous banners, which is like an extra little bonus thing, you could say. I'm going to make sure to get all my scaffolding back. You know, we don't want to waste it. It's so satisfying, isn't it? Look at it go. But yeah, ominous bottles are going to be so useful in 1.21. So it's an important thing that I have a good source of them, which is right down there. Just look at them go. It gets me 300 bottles an hour, so I'm going to chill here for that amount of time and see if it's true, I suppose. Plenty of time has passed. Let's have a little look. How good has the loot been? I also like that the golems don't get any damage. They never quite get close enough, do they, to get him. Let's have a look. Oh, brilliant. Look at all of these bottles. This is... Okay, did the golem just get hit behind me? I'm sorry, I'm the problem, aren't I, golem? I'm very sorry about that. Oh, we get extra mobs as well in there, apparently. Anyway, let's grab all of these. Look at it. That's going to be brilliant for raid farms and all sorts. So this is very, very useful indeed. I'm going to sleep because I kind of feel under threat. And we're there, ladies and gentlemen. 9,000 days in hardcore Minecraft. That's kind of insane, isn't it? And that means that there are just 1,000 days to go until the series ends. Wow. We really are in the end game now, aren't we? Every single hardcore video is going to tick closer and closer to that incredible number of 10,000. But we're not there yet. There's still plenty of other things that I want to do and projects to complete so we can enjoy the next 1,000 days whilst they last. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And yes, that was 9,000 days in hardcore Minecraft. Oh, and how cool does the poster look? Go and get one at sp737.store.